Puts us on first.
Hello.
How nice of you putting us on first.
Yeah.
I don't know how bad this sound
Right.
will be. The mic, we're using my up close mic and it's real far away, so it's amazing.
Well, we will see.
Amazing framing.
You guys look great together. Each half of you. And it's good because Jeremy's wall there actually looks kind of like a split in the screen too. So it looks like there's a little optical illusion going on. All right, let's get kicked off. I gotta go over here to the run a show and press a button, and then I gotta push live on TikTok. Thank you for joining us, everyone. We are here for our, believe it or not, our sixth live stream. And today we are going to be talking about some updates that I made to Sector Scavengers. You all have heard over the last couple of weeks or month, Jeremy providing a lot of feedback on how the little game I'm building looks and feels. Last week, I took a bunch of that feedback and integrated it, and happy to report that it looks a lot better. And then after that brief recap, we'll start diving into where we left off on the first party game that Brandon is working on called Rift Runners, and then we'll decide what we're going to work on today for Rift Runners, and then we'll start building some stuff out. I might work on some art, Brandon might work on some mechanics, and Jeremy will kind of guide the whole thing. So with that said, if you have any questions, feel free to tweet or social media anywhere at us at Makko AI with the hashtag AskMakko. And if you haven't joined our Discord yet, join our Discord, discord.gg/Makko, Makko. We do contests all the time. You can win free video games. We have office hours every Friday at noon Pacific, and so you can show up and ask questions. We actually had someone in the chat today asking a bunch of questions about how to do some animation, and Brandon was in there giving him screenshots and telling him how to fix it.
I think that would actually be a good thing to go over too, because I don't think we have any tutorials right now. So if we want to go over them.
Oh yeah, we should do that. And actually, while I'm on that, I'm just gonna mention there's an email from Chang Zhang. Chang Zhang is the email CHANG John, and then a bunch of stuff after it. But he had some questions that you guys can answer that I can't. I think it went to spam maybe. All right, and so with that said, I'm going to share Sector Scavengers and show you guys the updates. And man, let me tell you, they do look quite a bit better. All right.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I bet you are.
Also, Tony, you're looking good.
Oh, thanks. I went and I got a hair and a beard cut yesterday just for this, guys.
Let's go.
All right, let me know when you can see Sector Scavengers. Oh, I'm not sharing it. There we go.
Looks good.
All right. You can see a couple of things that we've added over the last little bit. Music off. That was a clear win. And just as a recap, last week, this menu here was actually like a series of buttons across the top here. And it was just very, very ugly. And instead, what we've done now is we've put all of the menu options as text options within this now unified menu UI. You'll see this pop up across the game now. And one of the things that we did last week was ask the AI to use industry best practices for things like contrast and readability and legibility, and it really did just level up the experience dramatically. Actually, it leveled it up so much that I just realized I can actually show you guys what it looked like before, because we have this.
Oh yeah, the new stuff looks very slick compared.
So yeah, this is you can see it was just really hard to read. There are different giant buttons for everything. You'll see this was just like a lot worse looking. You'll see here. I'll start now. Go back to this. And you can just see like this is just a lot cleaner. It's a lot easier to read. It doesn't feel like I have to squint. The the text doesn't need a thick outline in order to be legible, and I can do things like have light gray and white because the background is dark enough. Whereas before, the background was so light, it was actually more like the color of these cards here, and so it just made it a lot easier to read.
I guess the next question is orange on light gray a good legible color scheme?
No, it isn't. It is not. We're doing the cards next. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're definitely doing the cards next. You
So
can see I was playing with the cards a little bit here. I've got this one that's looking a little bit different now, but still the bottom is too light. So yeah, those are that's really the major update that I made. Other than that, it was just making sure all of like the dismiss buttons and the text was in like the right spot and not broken.
So kind of walk us through what you did off camera since last week to do all the research to make your UI look so much better.
Well, I did a couple of things. One, I used those words that I just shared with you guys. I asked the AI to give me industry best practices UI with contrast that would be appropriate for a white text with gray subtext palette. And then I asked it to explain to me. I went to Makko chat and asked it to explain to me, kind of what that meant. And then it said a bunch of stuff. And then I went and I made like probably like 20 or 30 versions of the UI that we just looked at. And I just put it in the game and picked the one that I thought looked the best. So it was less research on this one and more just building it out and iterating on it quickly.
I think part of the research we did last week too was in the generation of your images. And so I believe you asked it what would be like a clean standard UI for it. But yeah, and so in combination with that, with trial error, the speed of the AI there too, kind of allowed you to prototype, swap out what you liked and what you didn't like, and get the result that you have right now.
Indeed.
So what's next? What are you gonna do next?
I think that I'm gonna do the cards next. They're the only thing that is left in this palette that matches the HUD here. I think the tenant that I want to put in place is the only place that I use this like gritty off-white brown background is when there's UI on top of it and not when there's text on top of it. And the only time I put text on something is when it's on this like high contrast darker blue background. So yeah, I think
All
yeah.
right. Is the UI the only thing you're working on now? Is it you polish, you're done, or like?
Oh no. I have a whole bunch of other stuff that I've been working on. So like right now, the game has one hero and he has a specific build type, and this guy basically repairs the ship very well, and so he can keep you alive and let you explore deeper. And so I'm going to finish out his kit. The way that builds work in these games are the character. You select a character. In this case, Max is our guy's name here, and that character then has a specific card pool that it draws from. And so you can see Max has got clear debris, extract, repair, scan rooms, and then he'll also get like basically better and more repair cards and better and more blue cards that aren't in this deck yet, but they're like shields basically. And then once I get his deck feeling good, and I'll do that through play testing. So I'll get the rest of his cards working, and then play test with some people and probably throw a bunch out, and then I'll do the same for each character. So now, yeah, I guess that's the way to summarize. Now that I've got the core loop, like feeling better, feeling like it's not just like press buttons and do the same thing over and over again. I'm gonna now start building out the kits or the individual card decks for each player.
And what do you think your process is going to look like for building out a kit for a specific character?
So I have done a bunch of research already and made all of the cards as placeholders. And so the way I did that was I'm not going to pull up a bunch of markdown documents, but the way I did that was I went to Claude and I said, Claude, I'm building this game. You have context for the game because you've been helping me with design and this palette conversation that we've been having, and it's in my GitHub. And so I want there to be several builds in this game similar to a game like Slay the Spire. And then it came back to me and asked me to clarify what I meant by that. And so we went back and forth and defined a class or a character as I just defined it, an object or a unit that has a unique set of cards, that only it can play, to change the play style. And then I suggested a few play styles, and then it suggested a few play styles. So like I suggested the tanky, this guy that you repair stuff really easily and go far, because I figured the first character you'd want to get a good feel for the game and not like risk dying immediately or not know why you're dying. And then I asked for the equivalent of like a stealth character, which um, I am defining as like getting past the challenges without having to actually solve them. So having cards that, when combined with a specific challenge, if it's a leaky gas vent, maybe the stealth character has like a breathing mask that they put on. And so went back and forth with Claude on basically like 4 of those builds, until I liked them. And then we went and built out the cards for them, in a markdown document. And now I'm going to go build the cards out, the art for them, and put them in the game and start playing with them.
So it sounds like you're doing all the art before you've play tested whether the thing's fun. Is that correct?
Yeah, and it's a good call out because like I don't need to do that. I have the base cards already, so like I can play test without that for sure. It's a good call.
Yeah, and for card games specifically, I don't know how many people have been to tabletop conventions or Comic-Con or whatever, and it's very common for people to be on like their 20th iteration of cards written out on like standard card stock, and you literally go play 0 art, 0 anything, and like literally as they go, people will figure out, oh crap, this card's super OP, let's change the value, and they'll literally cross it out in the play test
I want to
and
see
play with the new value, right? So like you may end up with like entirely different cards, or
well, and that's actually what happened. The clear debris cards were at one point scavenge cards, and then I removed the scavenge mechanic completely and made it a clear debris mechanic. And so now like all of those cards are like I had to change the art on them and the words on them. And to your point, I wouldn't have had to do that if I would have just used the template. I'm trying to get to a screen where I get cards because I'm using the template on those screens.
Yeah, it's just a I mean, for the room, for the stream, you can do it any way you want, but it's a reminder that nobody's gonna play your game if it's not fun. So we say it all the time on the stream: get to fun as fast as possible. Your game should be fun whether there's pretty art or not. The pretty art just makes it, feel a lot better. And so while it's super fun to go generate a bunch of art, and like it's easy enough to generate art now, there's no reason to use like the same art image for everything, but you definitely don't need, you know, a bunch of like finalized art to be playtesting the game. Just to honestly getting to the point where the art just differentiates the different moves, so it's clear they're different moves, is probably good enough for playtesting. And then really you just want to find the fun after that, right? And like if you take a game like League of Legends, they don't spend all their time on art, right? They spend all their time on playtesting the kit, tweaking the kit, game design. The art is like the super, super easy part. And so um, that's generally how a lot of these games go. That's why reproducing games is dramatically easier than making games scratch, because reproducing games is just copying all the game design. So, and copying the fun. And when you're creating games that are similar to other games, the question always like is like, why would I play your game over these other games? Is it fun? Is really the question you're asking. Not is it pretty?
Yeah, is it more fun than this other thing that I could go spend $5 on?
Yeah. And even if you don't plan on selling it, say you're planning on posting on itch or something like that, like why would they play your game over the thousands of other free games? You know, it's a and would you even play your game over thousands of other free games? Like, there's definitely a sense of accomplishment and joy in making your own stuff. So that's a piece of it. But I assume most people want others to enjoy
other humans to play the game that they're making.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be a million people, but even if they're, you know, you want 100 people to play it, like, and so that's why play testing is so important. You know, like every team has a different threshold for what art they need to start playtesting. Like you can go look at pretty much any dev diary, and they're all at different levels, and that's more like the comfort level of the team to say like, yeah, I'm getting the feel of the game now, because the feel is important. It's a very intangible thing, so the feel of the game is important, but there's a very huge line between getting the feel and polishing your game.
Well, and to your point, like I'm one of these people. Like I can easily spend a week. Oh yeah, here we go. Sorry. Yes, I got the screen. Yeah, we did it. So yeah, like there's no reason why I can't just do this for all of the cards that I don't have art for yet.
Yep, and for this one, so we back in college we made an attempt at designing a card game. It was not successful, but we actually started in a spreadsheet, because everything needs to balance to, like, you know, whether it's an MMO or League of Legends or whatever it is, everything needs to balance to a certain point. And like that's actually where you get your baseline of like, is it even balanced? Does it even work in like a general balanced spreadsheet? And then you tweak from there based on feel. And it's obviously a game. It's not a hyper competitive game, so balance doesn't matter as much. But you still generally want, as a rule of thumb, like if you're in any RPG and you generally have a bunch of characters, you want them to generally hit some power level or target, right? So your easier classes usually don't have as high a cap of power level, but your harder classes usually have a higher cap and power level, but they're harder to play, so you lose a lot more until you get really good at them. That's generally the rule of thumb there. So
and they usually require in these games some amount of luck. Like you have to get when you're drawing cards like this, you have to get more specific card. Like this character that I'm playing right now, any of these cards, and he gets more of these cards like this, are going to let him keep going further and not die, right? Whereas, which makes it a lot easier to keep going further. Whereas one of my other characters, the stealth one, he is going to have a bunch of multipliers that make him get more money every time he does a run, but he's going to be much more likely that he dies because he's not going to have as much repair. He's not going to have as much damage mitigation in the form of shields.
Yep, and that's all really good points. And the big thing is if you don't have like a power level or a baseline or some like thing that you're calculating, you actually don't know how they relate to each other, and it's going to be super hard. And whether you're taking a D&D campaign or anything, like D&D has like the makers of D&D have mathematical formulas for everything. That's why their monsters work, right? Like they don't just sit down and come up with numbers out of thin air. They have like a power curve. They're trying to adjust you on the power curve, and then they, you know,
Is your Roomba going?
It's empty and upstairs. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, sorry. Probably can hear everything in the house right now with how high the mic's turned up. But yeah, so it's like there's always a power curve. There's always some sort of math formula, and it doesn't mean they don't tweak it over time as they learn more. But like, think about it this way: if this class is power rating of 10, what is the next one? How do you even know you hit anywhere close? And that's really what it is. Is like, are you close on your kit to the power level you think you want? And you'll save a lot of time being able to, you know, and Claude can help do spreadsheets and stuff. And I haven't tried it, but I bet if you went to Claude or anything that can edit spreadsheets and said, hey, go ahead and make me a spreadsheet. Here's my class design. Drop your markdown file in and say, hey, let's go ahead and make a spreadsheet. And then let's check the power levels or balance or whatever.
Yeah. I like that.
Because like, so when you're coding in Claude, and this is contentious a little bit, but like it literally can't test its code. It has no idea if in our AI window to Kimi GLM, it's not just Claude, it's everything. When you're coding, it doesn't actually know whether what it wrote is correct or not. So for example, in Makko, we have a bunch of like common lint, like we use all the common linter tests, which is just like, are you writing good TypeScript or not? And we'll tell the AI, hey, you're writing bad TypeScript. And then we also have our own layer of game checks that are common, like game mishaps that we saw the AI doing. So like basically if you write certain game logic, we'll throw a warning back to the AI and say like, hey, you can't do this. But the real way that an AI can verify is like via tests, and spreadsheets are a similar thing. Like you need some sort of deterministic thing the AI can run to validate what it's doing. It's very similar to a human actually. So a human does all the longhand math work on some problem. You know, how do you validate at the end? Well, we use deterministic programming tools like Excel or a calculator or whatever that gets the same answer every single time. And so AI also needs that, because AI is not going to, even if you give it a math problem, it's not going to get the same answer every time necessarily. And the more complex the math problem, the more likely it is to hallucinate. So just trying to leverage tool, and this is eventually where we want to build tooling around this, because like actually game design or game balance, is a huge important part of game design. And we want to build tooling around like simulations and things for economies. This is essentially an economy. It's a kit system, but like we would want to simulate this. So like there's different ways around this, right? Like you can play this 1,000 times. How do you know this is fun? Well, you don't know it's fun by playing it once, right? You got to play it hundreds and hundreds of play tests. Well, what's another way to do it? Well, with AI, you can tell it a way to simulate, or like what you want the feel to be like, and then if there's simulation tools, you can simulate it.
Yeah, but like I want to run to take 15 minutes and be 30% likely that the player dies.
Yep.
Go simulate that and make sure that the cards and the number of cards in the hand and the composition achieve that. Oh man, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do next. This is what I'm gonna do next.
Yeah, and so in the absence of tooling to do that, Excel, you can do that sort of thing in Excel, right? And I'm sure Claude can do some of that stuff in Excel. So Excel is a really, really powerful. I don't know if you can do it in Google Sheets, but you can definitely do it in Excel. So those are all things that eventually we want to build, all very important to game design. Because like this is the way you should think about this is the same way if you had an economy, you wouldn't just like arbitrarily set values of your economy. You'd want a money sink, you'd want certain gold drops or whatever, and you'd want, to buy a potion to take 5 minutes of grinding or something, right?
You don't know what kind of economy I want to run. You don't know if I'm lawful chaotic or chaotic good.
Well, the point is that you have an economy you want to run, right? Like I mean, I guess you could just have random money drop all the time, and then someone gets a million gil on the first drop, and you don't need money the rest of the game. But it
Seems
might
like a
be
better
fun
call.
for a gamble with friends game, but maybe not fun with a RPG or a deck builder.
Yeah, I think those are really good points. This reminds me of a story when I was back in college. I took a rules of the game class, and one of our projects was to actually create an expansion for a game. And so we took the board game Star Wars Epic Duels, and we created 2 new characters for it. And so the board game itself was that baseline that you're talking about that we had to adjust all of our cards for. And so we literally just wrote down everything in a list, broke it up into little paper cards, and then we just played the crap out of that game. And then we fine-tuned everything. We wrote in pencil, so we just erase it, write a new rule on there. And so I think that's really cool, and how we can kind of use AI to do that right now with what you're saying with Excel sheets, and Claude helping navigate everything. It actually reminded me of a type of integration test that you're talking about. It's like, oh, run these specific parameters for this game to make sure that it's fun.
Hold on, I gotta move my mic or my headphones because the cord's not long enough. So every time I look at Brandon, it's pulling. Let me put it in the. All right, say something, Tony.
Test 1 2 3.
That was
Nope,
not
I hear
it.
myself.
Wait a second. That was definitely not it.
Man, I sound good though.
There we go. Yeah, it was like. Alrighty. Sorry, go ahead. I couldn't turn my head. I was like trying to turn my head, and my headphones are just pulling.
No, it's
Yeah.
you know, it's a good segue. It's a nice break point. So we'll transition here to start talking about Rift Runners. So next week, what you can expect from Sector Scavengers is likely not a lot of visual changes, but we'll go through likely a spreadsheet of the balance for this first character that we've got here, Max, and I'll walk you all through what Claude and I worked on to get this character's cards feeling like they're the right mix and balance for a character that might be able to last very long in the game, but not but have a low power curve at the top. So
Yeah, something that might be interesting because I've always felt like I can never die in Sector Scavengers whenever I pull it up and I just click random cards and nothing ever matters. So something might be interesting is do a first pass on the balance and then like actually walk us through a run. Like why, and this doesn't have to be next week, but I think that should be really the goal. Walk us through a run, why you need to choose a specific card over others and why it matters, and like just show us the progression of the game because it, like I said, it always felt like I could just click anything and it just progressed.
yeah, and that's what I've been trying to work on, and I like the idea of putting it in a spreadsheet and actually like measuring and synthesizing it instead of just adding more features.
All right, so for next week, do what you're saying, get the spreadsheet we can walk through, and then maybe the next week we can do a game walkthrough.
Like a run, this is what a good run feels like now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that because like we can do all the tweaking that we want on the spreadsheet, but I think we actually need people to play it too, and so that can kind of act as that second part of that play test.
Yeah, and we can even do something where like you can walk us through a run, and then I think we can share multiple screens at once. Me and Brandon could go through runs at the same time, just seeing how it feels, and then we can provide feedback from there. We can do a live play test basically at the same time.
Yeah, I love that. Sweet. Also, shout out to Jashu in our TikTok chat. We appreciate you.
And I think Vin Smoke, good old One Piece, showed up. Good old Sanji.
Yeah.
Sanji showed up in chat and Twitch. Shout out to Sanji.
All right, so let's jump into some Rift Runners. I'm gonna stop sharing my my screen here, and Brandon, do you want to start catching us up on where we left off and what we're working on now?
Yeah, for sure. So I'll hide yours.
Oh, I was just gonna do that, but I failed.
Cool. So if we remember from last stream, we were trying to find the fun in Rift Runners. So what we ended up doing is going and creating this swap sandbox scene here, and then just going in and making sure the movement felt okay, making sure some of the different mechanics were feeling okay, and then we're trying to do a little, not quite a puzzle, but more platforming challenges. So I will play it real quick here. But yeah, so we have our basic animation here. And then we have our jump dash with the shift button there. And we intentionally made it so the platform is only really visible a sliver when you're on the edge right here, just to add a little bit of challenge there so we can prove out that mechanic. And we talked about this wall jump and how we don't really like it right now because there's no challenge to it. Because you can just go ahead and just hit the spacebar automatically and it'll just get you to the top.
Well, and the other thing is like you can just slide all the way down and keep jumping, right? Like there's no.
So if I would, if
Yeah.
that was a bigger gap, then yeah.
Yeah, you don't even have to do anything, and it just attaches itself to the next wall.
Yeah. And
So one key difference here between the games that you're looking at is Brandon is making this game in a hybrid of Makko for the art and Godot or Godot. We still don't know how to pronounce it for the engine. And so he's building the game in this engine Godot and then importing all of the animations and eventually the art from Makko into this engine.
Yep, and so we're focusing on trying to find that core fun game loop here before we get a lot of the art in. That's why it kind of just looks like blocks right now. But these are different tile sets that you can use in Godot, and so as soon as we have art for it, we can easily swap that in here.
So what do you want to try to accomplish today in the next 2 hours?
Yeah, so I think that we need to prove out the mechanics, right? And so we have a bunch of different movement mechanics, but we only really have 2 of them showing off right here. So that's the jump dash and the wall jump that we don't really like right now, but we don't think that the chimney right here is a good puzzle. So I was thinking that we could go in and create 2 new platforming challenges that we can go ahead and test out the different movements. So let's just go into Claude. So I think we can just create a new scene, or we can just add on to that. On this one.
Yeah, I would just add on to the sandbox because it's just a bunch of random puzzles chained together.
Yeah.
So before you add a new puzzle, you said you're not happy with the wall jump, but we're just going to leave it for now. When are we going to circle back to that?
I'm thinking one of the puzzles that I want to add is more of a wall slide, wall jump onto a certain, something like a U-shaped platform. So you have to wall slide down, jump to a platform in the middle at the bottom of the U, and then go to the right side of the U and try to dodge hazards as you wall jump your way up.
Well, shouldn't we make the wall jump feel good before we add like 3 things on top of it?
Yeah, we can do that with what we have right here with the chimney here.
Yeah, it still doesn't have to be hard, but I do think your wall jump should feel good in the basic. So like you're the only one playing, so like what feels bad about it?
I think it is, well, obviously that's not great, but I think it's attaching to the wall. I don't know, when you're playing your game, do you want to be able to attach to the wall only if you're having your directional button go into the wall? Or
Yeah, and
like right now I wasn't touching anything and it just did the wall slide.
You definitely want to have to hold the button to stay on the wall.
Okay.
Yeah, the other question is, should you be able to stay on the wall forever?
That was a good question.
Or should there be a button you can press to like hang on to the wall?
Yeah. like
if exploration's a big thing, it feels like just attaching to the wall and like looking around. Because like I could also see a mechanic that you could, since exploration's a big aspect of the game, a mechanic where you like latch onto a wall somewhere and you hold a button, but then you can also like see so far to the right or so far to the up or down,
like
or
look
something.
around. Yeah.
So like there might be puzzles where you have to like jump up to a corner to look around to even figure out where you need to go or something. I thought.
While he's doing that, Jeremy, what have you been working on the product side?
Yeah, so last week we launched an asset management pipeline. Or I guess I can let me demo it. It's live, and I'll talk about we're all on single monitors this week, so it's fun. Fun time. You get. Do you see my suit? Oh wait,
I just put it on. I put it on.
Oh, okay, cool. So what I've been working on is like splitting out some tooling in Code Studio. Oh, cool. I'm still in Sector Scavengers, which is great. Because we're starting to layer on tooling, so we had to start building layouts to do tooling. So we redesigned Code Studio, not massive functionality changes. We redesigned Code Studio to be this tab-based viewing, to where you can, it's more just like VS Code or any productivity software you would expect. So you have your tabs, your code windows, your preview. It's more like a Unity and Unreal, just play button at the top, rebuild, just much simpler. And then you just close them out. So part of this is because we want to start adding tools. And one of the things we've had the ability to add assets to games, but as far as users are concerned, they just go to the void because they go to these manifest files, and we actually do not want users changing these. And so I'm slowly changing the infrastructure to put everything in this .mako folder, which basically hides all your configs. It's where like the plan files go and things, and we're gonna slowly be making this read-only and make it to where the AI can't even edit these files, and it'll have to go through tool calls. And all of this is basically to make the AI not have to know about the internal workings and just be able to call some APIs. A lot of technical things, but it will make the AI work better. And then, but as you can see in Sector Scavengers, this used to be the only way you can like even see what's in your game. What's bad because right now we load all the assets into your game. So if there's a bunch of unused assets, if you don't even know what assets are in there, your bundle's going to get big. A lot of people are going to have to download stuff. And so the first step is to add, an assets management UI, which we added, which just shows all your images, lets you preview them. You can start seeing how big they are. You can go to your animations. You can preview your animations over here in the right-hand tab. So it just is like letting you see what's in the game. We've put this unused tab here. So like, for example, Tony, this entire character is unused right now in the game.
Yeah, I haven't put Munch in yet.
Yeah, so like this is just all these assets load when your game loads. So it's like and we're going to work on making this smarter in the future yet, to where we only batch up the used assets. So this is all kind of preparation work for making Mako itself a lot smarter. You can see your elements. But anyways, at the end of the day, this is also a much better way to go, oh, what do I have access to? Also, one of the issues, you couldn't add things with the same name before. Now it'll add, let me
Like
not
serialization.
Let me not do it in Sector Scavengers. I'll do it in my, yeah. So like, let's just remove all my bunnies.
Rabbit man.
Yeah, so also you can remove things from a game, which is great. So I don't need any of these. Let's remove them. Cool. But so when you're adding them now, so all these are named test, right? So before it would just replace test. It was really not smart. So now you're just test 1, test 2, test 4. You can see what they're called. You can come in, you can rename them. So this is rabbit. It's like cute rabbit.
Accurate.
Cuter rabbit. No,
Testcuter
not
rabbit.
Testcuter rabbit. So anyways, it's just basic management, and this is Sword Rabbit. And so when you're editing them in your game, this does not, you can see over here in the assets flyout, it doesn't do anything to the source assets. It's just all in your game, right? And so now, if you ever need to refresh any of these for some reason, it'll add to the newest version. And so if you add the same thing 25 times, it'll just keep the name, add rabbit. And this is all in preparation for tooling we're doing in the future. The next tool we're going to do is the alignment tool, which is basically, so if you look at this image, it's very large. Well, I'm on a small screen, but it's 2052 by 1869, so it's very large. And then this one is 846 by 1542. Well, on a game, you absolutely do not want, like if this is a small sprite in your game that's in the background, you do not want it to be like 2K like it is right now. That's like really bad, huge waste of resources. Also, most likely, we want all our rabbits to be the same size. So the next step is an alignment tool that uses these categories and lets you quickly make them all the same size. So if I came in here, I already have a rabbits category because I was messing around with it. So if I come in here and I put them all in rabbits, so with the alignment tool, I'll be able to go to rabbits and like hit one button and say align to everything. And then you'll be able to set one as a reference and say like, okay, I really want this guy to be the size everybody is. And you can click one button and everybody will be as tall as him, right? And so that's kind of like the tooling that's coming next. And then we'll continue adding actual management tooling for your game. Things like level builders, things for like tile set editors, more of what you're seeing in Godot. And that's one of the reasons we're doing sector scavengers in Godot is not, I mean, we like Godot as an engine, but also our goal is to provide easier to use tooling than the game engines provide for more non-experts or non-game developers. That is first-party AI development. So, like, there are things in Godot that are very hard, and Unity and Unreal that are very hard for someone to do and the AI to edit. So, our goal is to build, an HTML5 tool set that that works in your browser that basically has a better tool set and more compatible with AI. And then and one of the ways we do that is by using Godot every week and going, oh, this is a pain or this is a pain. And asset management's kind of a pain. Like even animations, and we'll get to this point in the alignment tool, even animations, making different animations that are not all in the same character object, or it's really weird. If you put all your animations on the same character object, making them different sizes is like basically impossible in Godot. So then you got to do all this other management, and it's just things like that. We just want to simplify it. At the end of the day, you have a bunch of game objects. You want them to be a certain size. Usually you want them relatively sized close to each other. Then the AI can scale your game in unison. Just really, really simple things. Because the AI, like when you're coming in as a person, you may manually size all these things, right? And if you're doing a website, you're going to manually size every single button. But like as we accelerate with AI, generally you want more batch things. Like you want all the characters to be roughly the same size. Then you still might resize like one or two of them. But if you have 100 assets, like let's go back to sector scavengers.
Many more than 100 assets in sector scavengers.
Yeah, so you just and you're still going to add more, right? So if we come back to sector scavengers, there's 184 assets and they're just growing every day. So like the cards are a great example. This is actually like the perfect example. So if you look at these cards, you have 1408 by 2039, 213 by 335, 211. These, so with AI generation, it's actually very hard to get these all pixel perfect. So this is also where you want them to be pixel perfect. You want them to be baked as the same size. You want them to display as the same size. And sometimes having really large images and scaling down can look really bad. In the web browser, you get some like artifacting. It's the same thing if you super sample in some video games, depending on the algorithm you use or how strong your GPU is, you'll get artifacting by subsampling down from a higher resolution. So oftentimes it's better to pre-process. You can use a slower algorithm, make it look better, all the fun things. But at the end of the day, you absolutely want your cards to be the same size. But this one's 850 by 1266, 1485 by 236, 1025 by 1538. So these may very well all be the same aspect ratio, but they're all different sizes. And they are all slightly different aspect ratios, so they're not pixel perfect, which this won't solve that, but this will solve, you know, some cards being way bigger. And actually, I'm noticing a lot of your front-facing cards are very within 1 or 2 pixels of each other. So that's worked out really well for your process, but then your backs are
huge,
all wildly
or
different sizes.
huge or tiny. Yeah.
Yeah. And so anyways, that's kind of the next step there. And then like I said, I'll probably do like a UI, like a call it a level builder, a UI builder, since we're 2D right now and no 3D for the time being. It kind of is the same thing, your UI versus your level builder, but like I want to get to a point where then you can drag and drop these assets into a scene and just organize them and let the AI take it. And I'm still brainstorming on how exactly to do that the best way for AI, because this is always the fun thing with AI. Is the traditional way is you have scenes, you have game objects in your scene, you have scripts that run against your game objects. It's how every major engine works. But with AI, I'll need to do some testing to see if that's still possible, or still not possible, but the best way, because sometimes AI just likes to load config files and be able to, like, generally AI likes to be able to read and edit everything, and it works better if it can read and edit everything, which is where some of those traditional game scene management patterns aren't necessarily the best. And so yeah, it's just hard. And it's where like Godot with AI just is actually really good, because it's completely open source. So all the major AIs have like been completely trained on Godot source code. So it actually understands a little bit better. Same thing with like the MCP. So as like these MCPs take over which is just it's basically an interface with Godot for the AI. Those are also open source in GitHub, which means that every generation of AI that's trained understands how it works, right? And so that's where open source is really, really powerful with AI. And it's also why you see like Unity and Unreal lag behind on support, because how does Unreal work? Well, there's very limited docs, and if you reach out to Epic and you're a first party partner, you'll get better docs. But if you're just a random person, you probably don't have access to those docs. So, and their public docs are horrible. That's why I actually think Unity works a lot better with AI than Unreal. I haven't tried their new AI tooling support, but pre their AI tool, like first party AI tooling support, Unity was generally just better because there was way more forums and documentation online. Because, before Godot, Unity was kind of the open source sweetheart. And then Unity did a bunch of stupid stuff, and
everyone hated them for a little bit.
Yeah. Still. And rightfully so. They did some really, really shady stuff. So
all right, Brandon, what do we got going on over here?
Yeah, so
I put you back up on the screen.
Yep, thank you. So it asked us a couple clarifying questions for how we wanted the jump to behave. And so I said that we must hold into the wall with a D-pad. We're going to detach immediately if we go neutral or press away from the wall. And we must be pressing into the wall to actually do a wall jump. And then we have something called the wall coyote in the code right there, where we have a 0.1 second threshold. So you can do a wall jump to the other side, and so we're keeping that in there to see how it feels. So after all that, it asked us a little question, and it implemented a new edit to the script there. And so here's what we have here. I actually find it very hard on a keyboard to do this. Oh my god.
You want me to give it a go?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Let's see.
Let me give it a play test here. All right, so what are the...
Yep, so shift. Yep.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, hit escape now. I'm actually writing code right now to give it a auto def sequence.
Sometimes watching Brandon play with a mouse and keyboard is like watching someone play with only their feet.
Yeah, yeah, and actually, this is like a good point because like now I'm just like trying to get the feel of the game and like kind of interesting how I mean I know our levels aren't really designed, but like even this jump doesn't give you a lot of control. Actually, what was that? I like didn't sprint, but I just like zoomed off.
You double tap shift, we have a sprint.
Double tap forward is a sprint. That's why.
Yeah.
That may be a little bit
Yeah,
weird.
so we might need to change that.
Yeah, there's a handful of things in here. That's actually what was happening is I was pressing forward over and over, and then I would suddenly zoom, and we probably need a different threshold for that. But this is super ghetto. But
Yep. I'm trying to think of ways that would make this wall jump easier, a little bit easier. But I don't know. Are you?
well, first we should cover these holes while we're testing the basics.
Yeah.
You know it's crazy. When I was growing up, this would have been a $50 game.
Yeah, and that $50 game was. Yeah, so let's go close the holes first of all because we're testing. We're not testing dodge ability. We're testing basic movement. I would also change at least the double tap to sprint. I would just leave that as shift to sprint or
hold down shift.
yeah. I don't know if we really need a sprint. You're already moving pretty fast through the level.
Yeah.
Like I would take sprint out until we have a level where sprint makes sense. Because these level like what we're doing now is like way too small for needing a sprint. Actually, this is a good point where like I play PC games all the time and platformers on PC and stuff, and now I do prefer a controller for it, but still spent my whole life doing it, and like just starting a new game and seeing how bad it feels is like why we're doing this because you want it to feel at least as good as all the games on the market, right? Like
Yeah.
and this is actually
Give this a
shows.
try.
It actually shows how like not simple it is to make the game feel good. Oh my god, dude, we gotta take that sprint out. That is
Yeah, we'll get that out.
It's also insanely so like PC okay, so like PC players and on platformers you oftentimes edge towards edges, right? Like this is actually why you want multiple people to play your game because apparently Brandon hasn't done this a single time in all his play
Just run without edging.
In all fairness, I think I told him to make the double tap sprint. That was my bad.
Yeah, no, but whoever told you, like, this is why I play testing, because, like, as I'm inching closer, I will, like, if I'm right now, I'm being really careful, but, like, if you, like, see, if you double tap to inch closer, I'm just off the, like, this is why, like, timing really matters, because, like, there might be a thing where double tap to sprint makes sense, but the threshold is like terrible right now.
This was a feature in Prince of Persia in 1982.
In 1982. Well, I bet you had to double tap a lot faster than this one because like I have to very intentionally not press the button fast because like
it was also an unwinnable game. You couldn't actually get past level 3. It was
impossible. The original Prince of Persia is very hard.
Yeah. So it's hard to see, but this is the double tap.
Yeah.
That's way too slow for a sprint, right? Like that's the type of tapping you do to get close, and in a platformer, you're constantly like trying to get close to then jump. Anyways, that is why it looks like I cannot control the game is because I just randomly. Yeah. So one thing that's really bad is you should not jump the other way until you press the other way. So if you're hanging onto the wall and you jump, it just like jumps out, which is.
Okay.
Honestly, if
should just jump upwards.
Yeah, should probably just like jump upward. Well, we probably should make that decision. Like, all right, reset it. Should we jump upwards or should if you're pressing towards the wall and you press jump, like nothing happened. And maybe we want to try both, because like I don't actually think you want to be able to go up like this, right? Like, so like in Mario, I think Mario 64 has like one of the best wall jumps in any game ever. And in Mario 64, if you were to jump against the wall like this outside of glitching your way up, like you would just fall and you wouldn't be able to reattach. So it's also kind of weird to me. You can always reattach. Like, why can you reattach to the same wall without hitting the other wall? So the whole point of a wall jump, I think you don't want it to be spazzy. You want to go from wall to wall to wall, right?
Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, so we can add some logic to make it so you can't reattach to a wall.
Yeah, so I think it's like you can slide down like this, but if you jump off and you don't reattach to the other wall, you can't reattach to slide.
Yeah.
Is like what I'm thinking. And so this is also for the stream, this may be wrong. This may feel terrible. This is just an idea, right? And this is where with AI, it's actually awesome, because we can just be like, oh, we want to do this thing. Let's go try it. And by the way, you can do this if you're coding from scratch too. It just might take more than 5 minutes. And this is where, regardless of how you feel about like your production code being AI or production art being AI, this is where AI is like, you cannot deny it's immensely valuable, because you can get to fun and prototype all these things generally much faster. Because like it's also possible after we get done with this prototype stage, the code's like a fucking mess and we just want to rewrite it all. However, what we do have is all the timings and the logic and the math, which we do want to carry over.
So Jeremy's building a very tight Super Mario-esque flow here. One of the other options for platformers like this is like the opposite, more frenetic. There was this game called Splosion Man, maybe like 15 years ago, and it was Friend Slop before they called it Friend Slop.
I have never seen this game.
It is, dude, it's incredible. There's only like you can press any button on the controller, but they all do the same thing, and that is they make Splosion Man explode, and that throws him like a jump, and you just have to throw yourself across the map with your friends, and like all the like I said, the only thing any button does is make you explode forward. It's awesome. But it's the opposite of what Jeremy's just described as like the wall jump.
Yeah, and this is actually a good point, is like maybe it's not that, maybe the original one you need like the direction, but like once you're jumping, and maybe this is why it feels so bad, is once you're jumping, it's more about timing the jump on the wall than it is. I also think the walls are way too close. They're like 2 inches apart from
Yeah, you want to
other.
feel some like float between the wall jump.
Yeah, and you need time to be able to time it. And I think it's not so much about, oh, you hit left, right. It's more that like you have a 0.1 second you have to hit spacebar to continue your jumps. And this is where the slide is really weird a little bit to me, is like I think it makes the jumps too dumbed down, because there is zero chance you fail because you can just slide. And maybe that'll feel different. Maybe that'll feel different when we get like actual puzzles in there. But
Yeah, that'll probably, yeah. So I moved the wall off to the right, another grid base, so we have more time to react. And then
yeah, and it also might be we just, when we're jumping on a wall jump, we want it to go slower too.
Yeah.
It may not, there's multiple ways to do that. Make a really wide wall jump that goes fast, and then make a shorter one that goes slower. But yeah, you definitely want your average player to be able to react in time to even like register they need to do something else.
Yeah.
Did I just see a cheese setting in your config file?
Let's see. Cheese? Where do you see?
I saw in one of the docs you just had up, it said cheese. Like it was like you had a set of values for how to cheese. Yeah, there you go. It was just on that thing.
Oh, and here.
Yeah.
Oh my god, where do you see this?
Go up, scroll up. Now it's bothering me. Yeah, there it is. Look, cheese.
Oh yeah, cheese. Oh yeah, it's a block single wall cheese. There you go. It's using some good terms.
Yeah. Using some legacy terms here. That's an old gaming term.
Speaking to me.
So I don't have. Oh my gosh, I don't have any of the changes.
Ooh, that feels a lot better.
See, and so I'll say it may feel better, but Brandon's just over here spamming spacebar.
No, I'm not. Those are my directional buttons.
And you do want to make sure
Okay.
it feels good enough that you can not have to spam your buttons and still do it.
Yeah, so I think the jump is too fast because I still don't have enough reaction time.
Yeah, and I don't think we want the wall jump to be reaction time based. I think we want it to be like intentional. I would actually say, so do it again now that you've spread it. I think you want the jump to make you jump higher than it's doing right now. Because that's the other thing is like there's not really enough upward velocity and you are barely making it to the wall, but you also want it to, be slower. So I think you want like a little more vertical velocity. Probably vertical velocity is what you would call it, and then you want less horizontal velocity.
I love the Roomba too. While you're talking about velocity, it's like
and it just randomly is emptying up there.
So good.
It's a hard little worker.
Yeah, it's always doing something.
Get all that cat hair every day.
All right, how did I get into here? Then I went into player.
This also might be a good thing to brainstorm with Claude because we're not necessarily experts on this game design, and it might just be a good thing to go in and be like, hey, here's what we're thinking, here's what we think it feels like, but, because Claude may actually have a suggestion we're not even thinking of.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to find a player to go back into.
Because you got every tab in the game open.
Yeah. All right, figure out how to click on my own player. Excellent. But I think we can just adjust a couple of physics settings on the player.
You know what we need to get set up for next week? I need to have maybe I just connect my Claude chat app to the GitHub wherever this is at and then just ask questions and ideate because I need to be able to brainstorm while Brandon's jumping around
everything
looking
is
for things.
Submitted into GitHub too, so that should be easy to do.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that for next week.
Yeah.
Because there's like research. This actually is something like you can definitely have multiple research tasks and things going on the same code base, and with multiple people, multitasking is actually possible.
I'm just gonna get this started. And then while this is going, I'll actually find the vertical jump. Yeah, I think we want to increase the vertical jump velocity so that it plays better with the gravity. So it actually launches you up a little bit higher.
Yeah, so let's just try something. So delete the sentence you're working on now. Don't delete everything, just the sentence you're working on.
Okay.
And then say like basically explain how we want it to feel. It's like we don't want it to be like a spammy buttons fest. We want it to like feel like you're intentionally jumping from wall to wall. And then ask for its suggestion on what should be done.
Mm-hmm.
if you're familiar with math and linear and all that stuff, like you can kind of figure out the vectors and things you want to do, or if you're familiar with games in general, you could probably figure that out and trial and error it. But I think with AI, this is where what I really care about is like on some of these basic things is I just want to know like how did everybody else make this feel good?
Yeah.
Like let's short circuit it. Like instead of spending a week trial and erroring to get to the same place 50 other games already got to. Like just ask and see if it has an answer, and it might not. Like that's the thing with AI. You might ask questions like this, and you might read it and you go, "Oh, this is absolute shit," and go right back to testing it, and that's fine. I do that a lot. I'll ask a question, and be like, "Nope, that's terrible," and then just go back to doing whatever I was doing. But the questions usually take like 5 minutes or less. So it also, so at Amazon, we used the concept of writing a doc as a straw man, meaning basically like you write a doc you know is not correct. And then it's just wonderful how the human brain works is when you see things that are not correct, you're more likely to have feedback and think of the things that are correct. So just this is where AI can be really, really good. It may give you a correct answer, but if it gives you the wrong answer and you're somewhat familiar with the subject matter, your brain will actually think of the right answer better by the AI giving you the wrong answer. But this is why it's really important to have a good eye for AI and figure out how it's to learn more about the subject matter, learn about what's going on. You'll hear me talking about learning a lot because we're pretty far from AI being all knowing or correct 100% of the time or even 90% of the time, or hallucinations being gone, or it being able to read your mind and know exactly what you actually want. And so I think it's always good to use it as a straw man and think for yourself there. But I do think using it as a straw man. Sorry, my leg's cramping, so I'm standing up. Too much surfing last night, apparently.
Oh, no.
Too much drinking with Brandon here.
Whoa. We didn't do anything yesterday. We just surfed a lot.
Yesterday. Brandon and his friend PJ need to drink beer every day. They're together, so
It is true.
it is true.
There's a lot of good KC beer that I don't have in Michigan.
Yeah, it's true. It's also very hot here right now, so lots of sweating and.
I wish it was hotter here. We had like one day where it was 80 degrees, and then it went back to Seattle time.
I don't know. We have a heat index of 104 degrees.
That is, people aren't meant to live in that.
All right, so it's asking me some questions about what it wants to do, but let's see what it found first. So it's talking about our gravity. It's going through what it found.
Yeah, one thing I want to point out. So this is a really good. This is a really good way it's broken this down. So it's 0.3 seconds wall to wall. So that means you get 3 inputs per second. So like that's a good way to break it down. How fast do you want your game to feel? Like think about it in terms of second, how many actions per second. So like, games like World of Warcraft and things break things down to actions per minute. They want you doing so many things, all this stuff, right? And so that really helps you zero in. It's a lot easier to think about it of like, I want 1 significant action per second, which is pretty slow, right? But I want 1 action per second and that's it. Or I want 5 actions per second, which is button spam. So I really like that it broke that out. And this is why I always recommend reading the AI, and you should pick out the sort of things that help you understand whatever you're talking about and help you visualize better. If you're like can think in vectors and pixels per second and things better, it means you probably are an expert at this space already. But most people are going to want to, think in like terms of second and actual actions. And, even your top game designers are thinking about that. APM is a common term, right?
Yeah, and so it looks like
I like they call it floatier kick.
Yeah, I do like that option, but this Apex hang time is pretty interesting. I'm not sure what games we've played that have reduced gravity at the top of your jump.
Don't most games have that? My guess is most games actually do have that, and you just don't know.
Yeah, and so it's just what does it feel like? Yeah,
Yeah, because I don't think most games just go up and come down like really fast, right? Like most games go up, and think of like you're at home with your Nintendo controller playing Mario on NES, and
It's like an
you're
art.
like, yeah, you're like, oh, you do the body thing. So like you would never do the body thing if it was straight up, straight down, right? You do the body thing because it's hanging at the top, and I think that's your apex hang
a lot
time.
of people do the controller
Yeah.
move too. Yeah,
Yeah, and I don't think any game does that if there's not an apex hang time.
yeah. So I think we want wall reaction window and apex hang time here.
Yeah, because if you have the apex and you're still floating across, it gives you like a more bigger buffer to actually grab the wall or do whatever you're doing over there.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. So it's going to go and probably change some core of our physics here so we can do that apex.
Yeah, and so this is a good example. So we asked it to give us suggestions. It gave us a set of things. So this isn't just about finding the answer for your game also. So what it did is it gave us 5 things that other mechanics other games use. So like this is also like exposing yourself to ideas. The more ideas you're exposed to, the more ideas you're going to have. And so this is where I think AI is just so powerful for almost every subject, is you can get exposed to so many things you couldn't before. But if you don't want to drive, if you don't want to think, if you don't want to put effort in, that doesn't matter. But if you do, you're going to become a better, more rounded person. You're going to have way more ideas. You're going to like your world's basically going to open up. And it sounds like glorious, but it sounds like that's not the right phrasing. It sounds like I'm glorifying it, I guess, but it really, with AI, the amount of effort you put in, you do get that effort out. And if you want to learn, if you want to absorb the information, you can learn so much more. Because like even think about like a YouTube video. You're going to watch a YouTube video, and YouTube was a huge step up compared to books. Like because YouTube was very pointed, it was examples, it was great. I've done so many YouTube trainings in my life or tutorials or whatever. And now with AI, you can literally start in on like a YouTube video. You can get to a point where you're like, oh, I know what I want to do. I don't want to follow the YouTube video. And you just start talking to the AI to do exactly what you want to do. You don't necessarily have to like figure out how to apply it. And then you can ask for the 10 branches off the YouTube video and then still make your decision, but you're still learning about the 10 other branches and that's even an option, which before you're only getting the heavily curated YouTube, right? Like you watch the YouTube, you're getting taught exactly what the YouTube wants you to know, and you can't explore it. So be curious. Like definitely be curious. Ask the AI, why would you do this? Why is this a good idea? Explain this to me. And every little bit you absorb is going to pay dividends in the future.
Yeah, I agree with that too, because being an engineer at a game company, I never had to think about an apex jump hover. A product person like Tony or somebody would come up to me and be like, hey, I want this apex float. And I'd be like, okay, I know the physics behind how I want to do this. I'll just implement this real quick. And so now with AI, I'm like, oh, that is a thing that I like. That is a term that is commonly used in video games. All right, let's go implement that, see how it feels.
Yep. And it's it's just a thing that exists even. Like, I mean, this is already looking better to me because so I can hear the spammy of the buttons, and it sounds a lot better, I should say. Because I don't think we want wall jumps to just be like it was almost like Brandon was just panicking before spamming all buttons is how I would describe what it sounded like.
Give us a try. Yeah.
It's like when I play Street Fighter.
Yes, that is actually really close to what it sounded like.
I'm not learning the combos. I'm gonna spam.
That's
Oh,
right.
I think the jump feels way better. And like,
Yeah.
okay, we got to take that goddamn double dash out. Jesus
Yep.
Christ, that's so bad. But so like, okay, maybe the jump's a little bit too high, but you can now kind of see how you can like target where you're landing.
Yeah. So
That-
now we don't want to add like the press down to land feature anymore because we can kind of target.
Well, we still might want that, but like before it was actually very, I mean, the jump's too high, but
Yeah.
like before it was very hard to land exactly where you wanted because you were coming down so fast. So
It's
that's,
got a great vert.
yeah, he can jump very high. So that's like really good.
Those.
Okay,
It's almost a
outs-
little sticky.
well, I think it's supposed to do that. So outside of his spammy nature, like the graphical. Yeah, I think it feels a lot better. I mean, wall jumps don't feel great on keyboard, but and this, but yeah, okay. So you see how like just like a super easy climb, and I think this is like the right difficulty because, I mean, I think the jump is too high still. But yeah, that's all right. I don't know why I keep trying to jump to the right. So yeah, anyways, the wall right now is like not a good puzzle, but it's feeling a lot better because
Yeah.
now you have to think about it. It's intentional. It's like you get used. God, a freaking double dash, bro. I've never played a game where I'm just like randomly double dashing. Yeah, so the jump's real fucking high. But like, yeah, I think overall the Apex jump just made everything feel good.
Yeah.
And I actually think this, like, we can't double jump on the same side feels really good too. Because like you can see I just fall and you see you can go faster if you want to. So once you get used to it, it's not like you can't go fast. Oh my god. Dude. I think any PC player would like want to kill you for that double dash.
Good thing we're not launching it like that.
Because it's like, all right, so I guess on PC you're just like pressing your keys so much, like whether you're playing WoW or Counter-Strike or Modern Warfare or whatever, you're like constantly like, it's not just you hold it down forever, right? Like, and so the double directional thing is just like just randomly I'm just dashing
Like a troll.
Yeah. And I think this actually shows a lot of like why you got to play test with the player base you're going after. Because, like, say that was like double, well, so like on console, a dash would be like clicking your right joystick or something, right? Or your left joystick, depending on the game. And so you wouldn't have an unexpected dash. And actually on PC, it would be holding shift. Like you would do the dash, and then if you kept holding shift, you would sprint, right? That's the control scheme. Like double tapping to run, I can't actually think of a game that's that way. And I think it's really, and it's really important. Like we all have thousands of hours playing games, and our brains map like control schemes to common things. So I think it's really important to get like your default control scheme. Well, one, this is why you can customize it in almost every game, but two, getting your default control scheme to be like what 80% of your player base on that console would expect. Unless you're trying to do something like unique and fun and
So I think we found where Jeremy and I differ in our taste in games. The double tap to run option was popularized by the Kirby series and is used in the Mega Man X and Zero series.
That's not on a keyboard though.
Oh, shut up, Kirby! You're right. You're right.
So once again, is literally not on a keyboard. So
You're right.
So
You're right.
the way that feels is entirely different because you can't. So on a keyboard, you're hitting your buttons a lot.
Yeah.
So like also we have like mechanical keyboards and stuff, right? So it's like very, very quick on a D-pad. That's also on a D-pad, not a joystick. So that doesn't make sense on a joystick either. So control schemes. This is worth saying too. Control schemes have changed with controller layouts.
It's true. Do you remember what the N64 controller looked like?
Oh yeah.
It had that like circle thing in the center of it and a trigger on the back.
It's wild.
It was like
N64 remote was wild.
it was like made for creatures with 3 hands.
Also, I want to go download the newest Kirby on Switch 2 right now just to see what the control scheme is.
Just to see if
Actually,
you double tap.
I don't need to download it. Latest Kirby game control scheme. Because actually, this is like a good. So I'm a Googler, so I'll go start Googling this stuff. But this is actually a good use of AI too, because you could literally go tell AI to go do a deep research task, or in Claude, it's called deep research. You could, if you're really curious about the evolution of controls and why they changed, you could literally go tell a deep research task to go research every game in the genre you want and to talk about how the control schemes changed over time and why they changed over time. So you don't have to, like, if this is something you really don't know about or have a clear opinion on, you don't have to like make it in isolation. You can go figure out what the industry did and why. Because usually there's a good reason this stuff changes, right? Like we went from D-pad to joysticks. Keyboard mouse didn't exist in the NES days. So there's like really good reasons for different things to occur. And you know, maybe you want to make a game that's D-pad only. You don't have to make a game for joysticks. Like you can not make the joystick work. Like there's still D-pads on all our controllers, right? So like you can still do that.
There's this one guy out there making games and releasing them for Super Nintendo still. It's crazy.
All right, let's see. Move/run, L stick, jump, float, or dodge, drop ability. There is no sprint. There is no sprint in the newest one, according to Google.
It was such a good feature they had to take it out. It was so OP.
Oh, so there is, you can eat a car and then you can accelerate by holding B.
That's awesome.
So also remember, so this is actually a great conversation on the history of gaming. I think there's a lot of things you don't think about, but also remember, unlike the NES, there was 2 buttons. So we shouldn't, like, if that is what you want, is if you want a very simple game on 2 buttons and you think it feels really good, like, I'm not going to tell you not to do it. But remember, no controller that anybody's using only has 2 buttons.
Yeah, for the last 20 years.
Yeah. And so I do think it's like a really interesting thing because and this is why playtesting is important. Maybe there's a thing that you like really want it as a specific gameplay, but if every person you give it to hates it, I mean, it's your prerogative, it's your game, you get to do it. But if I did something and every person I ever talked to just despised it and it's just something as simple as a control scheme layout, I would change it.
Yeah.
Because by the way, I'm not saying we don't need sprint. I actually think there's probably something in this game that we could use sprint for. I'm just saying the way it felt and the way I just kept launching myself everywhere. It could be something as simple as you need to be running for 2 seconds before you can sprint. Right? There's other ways to solve it other than removing it.
Yeah, I mean, or just make it not double tap forward.
Yeah, or make it a different control.
Make it a key. Yeah.
But like, you know, think about like all our FPS. Like if you have to click the joystick in, you don't actually just start by sprinting, right?
Yeah. You have to engage it.
Brandon, what you working on? I don't actually know what you're doing anymore.
I'm trying to adjust the jump height, and it's telling me that jump velocity is the only thing that affects it, but I have it at -1 right now instead of -2800, and the jump height is exactly the same. So if I go, yeah, so it's at velocity, -1. It was at -2800.
Well, I just leave it -1 and restart it. I mean, your AI is also, you're going to confuse the AI. It's going to be like, bro, your stuff's at -2800.
Oh, okay. So look at it. So I jump up, gets me to the last square right there. I'm just going to.
Yeah, I haven't used Godot extensively, so I don't know how good their hot reload on code and all that stuff is.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
So you just didn't restart the game.
No, that's good. Okay. There's our jump now. It's beautiful.
Oh, man. He's having a tough time.
He's having a tough time.
And now Claude's over there going, what the hell? Everything looks right.
Everything's all right, Claude. I'm so
You
sorry.
just lost a cup of water.
Oh.
Actually, that's another thing. I think the water anti-AI for water is the biggest astroturfing campaign I've ever seen in my lifetime. It's
Wait,
data center.
AI can't do water?
No. There's so the whole thing is that data centers are eating all the water in the country, and that's the biggest concern for AI. But electricity usage is like a dramatically higher issue than water usage, and nobody's talking about it. So I think it's like immense propaganda by the AI companies and data center companies to be like, oh yeah, water's totally the issue, because it's really not an issue. Like if water was an issue, we would have banned almonds in California, right? Like there's so many things we would have done ages ago. I think almonds in the California desert where they're farmed use more water than all data centers in the U.S. by like several factors.
Yeah,
right?
But they're so delicious.
Sure, and I'm just saying, if you actually care about water, there's other things, right? But
100%.
with electricity, AI uses an immense amount of electricity. Like I cannot run a single tower of GPUs in my house if it's the only thing running in my house on my circuit breaker, and that's a single tower of GPUs.
And there's there's like thousands in a data center.
Yeah, and so the immense amount of power it takes to drive these things. It's like one data center is like literally using more electricity than like a city or a town. Maybe not a city, but like a town of like 50,000 people. And so I just think it's a big propaganda thing. If everybody's talking about water, they're not talking about electricity, and electricity is the real issue. And everywhere these data centers are going in, they're getting discount rates on electricity, and it's driving local electricity rates up. So there are concerns with AI, but it's just not water. And there may be a data center somewhere that was built, or a couple that were built in an idiotic area where they really don't have water, and they're just doing crazy ass shit. And I'm not saying that shouldn't be taken care of. I just don't think it's like overall the issue. We've been water cooling data centers for the last 30, 40 years, and nobody's talked about it till now. So
yeah, and you didn't watch Waterworld with Kevin Costner?
Oh, I definitely watched Waterworld with Kevin Costner.
I think the smokers were the guys building the data centers. Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
Brandon, what are you doing?
I was just gonna move on to the next U-shaped puzzle because I actually think it's playing pretty well. Jeremy, you wanna take a little test run?
Yeah, what we do?
We made the jump feel a lot better. So now you're not super floaty.
That's way better.
Yeah, and you can just make it to that.
Oh yeah, that's that. Yeah. Okay, we're making progress. This is starting. I'm not randomly dashing in random directions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that feels really good. That's it. I have control over my character. Well, except for running off the. It doesn't look like I've never played a video game before because he actually does what I want him to do. The jumps feel. Oh yeah, jumps. I mean, outside is random glitching back and forth, but the action.
Show me that again.
The graph. It's just graphics.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Do you not see it?
He's
like dancing.
You can drag down, but if you miss it, you fall. Yep. Oh yeah. Okay. This is now starting to feel like an actual control scheme.
Also,
oh my god,
do a wall slide down back and forth without, like, you can just kind of attach when you get to the top.
Oh my god, I do this in actual platformers too. I try to, instead of doing the last jump. Oh yeah, you can control falling, but instead of doing the last jump, I always try to just like go over and then I fall.
Yeah.
So that's not.
So real quick, guys, we're about halfway through the stream. And so I just wanted to quickly recap on Rift Runners. What have we done so far? And what do you think we're going to accomplish in the next hour and a half?
You made it feel like a game, Tony.
We made it feel like a game.
I still don't. So one thing I'm still not sure on, I think to start it, you want to, I don't know. I don't love the you have to sorry, you don't that you have to click back and forth. That just feels really really funky. I do think you want to hit spacebar within a certain time frame, and then I think to click and drag, you want to have to go to that direction, right? So like here, so like what I would say is, so to do this, I have to hold it or I fall. But to do the jump, why can't I feel like it feels like yeah, because like that still feels really bad, right? I'm hitting spacebar and I'm on the wall, but it's not jumping.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh shit. Like you have to do, the problem is like you have to hit everything exactly and there's like no wiggle room. So like I jump that way. So why can't I, it's like I should be able to jump and then let off the direction and then like jump up and only, it's like, so the jump velocity is determined by my arrow I'm holding during the wall jumps, right? That's, I think, what feels weird.
The jump horizontal movement. Okay.
That's controlled by like, I don't know. I feel like I should just be able to go like after the first one. I should just be able to hit spacebar at the right time and jump up, or hold the direction to stay on the wall.
Yeah, I was debating holding direction to stay on the wall and not slide. Is that what you're talking about?
No, with the slide.
Yeah,
I mean,
slide,
whether you want to do it, but like this first one is like really, actually, really, really hard to do. You have to do it like perfectly, and then my hand's already tired from like trying to. It just doesn't feel natural or good. And this first one is actually really hard to get. I just think like it's feeling better. The jumps definitely feel dramatically better, and the timing feels better. I just feel like
The wall jumping is still a little clunky.
So do we want to increase the horizontal distance automatically so you don't have to press the directional button to make it all the way to the wall?
I think after you're in a jump sequence, so one, you should be able to make it from wall to wall, like just from the trajectory jumping off. So your horizontal should be bigger. Two, I don't actually think you want variable jump based on holding left or right on your wall jumps. So I think your wall jump is a set distance.
Well, I think that is how it behaves today, but when you press the directional button, the physics takes over, so it can move you.
Right, so it's not a set distance.
Yep, so it's not a set distance.
I think when you're in a wall jump, there is no variable distance. You have a velocity that you hit, and then I think when you're jumping from wall to wall to wall, you just want to hit spacebar, and then you would hold the arrow if you want to like stop and drag down the wall. So like the arrow is more about engaging the wall, but once you're in the wall jump, it's more about just timing your spacebar jump. Because then so think about even on a controller, right? Like I'm thinking like Ori or any game, and Tony maybe chime in here, is like, I don't know. I mean, and on a controller, it's a lot easier, but I don't know that like as you're wall jumping, you have to time exactly left and right as you're going up. And if you do, there's like a pretty big threshold, and maybe that's the issue. Is our threshold there is really tight. I feel like the threshold for the left and right is like lower than the jump threshold.
Yeah, the only time that you're really timing the left and right is more, or the up and down rather, is more when there's like a trap or something that you have to avoid, like Metroid or
and that's where our drag comes in, right? Is like you would want to drag down so you can avoid a trap. And maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe you do want to go, if you're holding the opposite direction, I don't know. Let's get it do this and see what happens.
Yeah.
Interview me.
Yeah, I think that is a pretty good call too, because it does tire out your hand, and so you could put a lot of these if you kept it like that, and it just doesn't feel good anyways.
Yeah, the big thing is I did that first jump like 10 times, and I probably only did it like twice because the timing is so tight. And It just doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, the jumps and stuff feel much better now.
Yeah.
The general movement feels a lot better.
I like that too, that we found that, because we can kind of use that as a base and set up our grid platforms to be that set amount of distance for any other jump dash.
Mm-hmm. Well, and so the other thing to keep in mind is we can have different wall types that behave differently. So maybe you do want a puzzle where you have to click left and right, and you can, or maybe there's even jumps where there's certain parts in the puzzle you have to click left or right.
Like you have to turn a switch on.
No, I was just thinking like literally a wall could like have slime on it or something.
Yeah, got it.
So you have to attach to the wall just because it's a slime wall. I'm just saying you're not set on like not adding interesting mechanics. You can do that in lots of interesting ways, but I do think the baseline should feel really good. Is really what I was trying to say. So like there's the baseline and then there's complicated mechanics on top of it.
Yeah, so now it's just asking me a bunch of questions on what we want. And so we only want the rising wall jump state to be affected by this. For horizontal, we want to keep the existing friction deceleration.
Wait, for horizontal?
Yeah, so that's already built into the physics that it has right now. And so the only thing it's doing is taking away the directional input to increase horizontal movement.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay.
And then this one's the interesting one is like, oh, so maybe this is why it feels bad. There's no wall grab while rising. So you have to wait till I think this is why it feels really bad.
You have to wait till you're falling to
So we want
actually.
this.
Yeah, you want to allow grab at any time for sure. That is, that honestly might be just why it all feels wonky.
And
Because
this is why you wanted to interview you.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. Like, so the interview hack, I actually saw that on LinkedIn originally, and there's a lot of stuff on LinkedIn that's just like eye roll, move on. But that one, I was like, oh, I'm gonna try it, and like, it is a great way for it. Just like basically, you're telling it like make sure. So there's this thing called confidence interval, and it's a very common thing in business world. Like you in product development, anything like you're never 100% confident on stuff. So like you always want to get to a certain confidence level, and different use cases require different confidence levels. And so it's a common thing AI understands. And so just saying like, hey, ask me questions till you're really confident we know what we want is just a really good thing. And so it's making the determination that it's very clear on what it wants. But especially when you're doing like small tweaking stuff like this, the difference between the quality output will be massive.
Yeah, because it's going to assume what you want. And earlier we talked about how AI isn't great at picking up context on what we want it to do. And so it could do something totally crazy if because if the AI is not sure of what it's doing, it's just going to guess and it's going to feel weird.
Yeah, and it's not going to tell you it's not sure. That's the big problem.
No,
it's 100% right all the time.
Yeah, it is definitely sure what it's doing.
Yeah. Or it knows it's like actually read thinking blocks sometimes in the Claude chat app. It's hilarious. It will literally, especially on max mode, it will literally be like, I think the person's saying this, but most likely it's this, but maybe it's this. We're just going to do this. And so like it's actually not sure a lot of the time. It just picks one. And that's where the interview me kind of forces it. Like if it had that chain of thought where it's like it might be this, it's now going to ask you the question instead of making an assumption.
Well, and like as we just saw, like sometimes you catch stuff where you're like, hey, that thing that you're assuming is wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the sky is not green.
Yeah, this guy's not green. But it is actually.
Oh, actually, I just randomly chose green. That's funny. That's some subliminal shit going on there.
Yeah, forest green. What color is that? Turquoise? Not turquoise, but
No.
oh, now it's green.
Oh.
I think right now it doesn't have enough horizontal distance to actually make it, so we need to adjust. Okay, so we need to increase horizontal distance. Is that in here?
Yeah, it's literally the warning there. One note, you may not be able to make it. The knob is walljumpimpulse.x and player.gd. This is why reading's good, guys.
Let's just go update that.
Is it literally so vector 2, so x would be the first.
Yep.
So vector 2 is an xy coordinate, so it's like essentially think of it as a line where it's a line with velocity built in is how you think about it. Anyways, linear algebra, guys. Go take it if you really care. And there are vector 3Ds. Basically a directional line with velocity in 3D space.
Well, we're making it.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna increase that by like
just by the hair of
bit.
your chinny chin.
Yeah, he started doing the spam buttons really
freaking out a
fast.
little bit.
You'd be real tired after a couple hours of that, or 10 minutes of that, really. I think that's like an interesting thing too, right? Is like you don't like, especially for people that play like PC games all the time, if you're tiring their hands after like 5 minutes, is that really what you want? Like for someone that doesn't have like the muscles built up for playing PC games, like yeah, their hands may get tired, but and actually the next step is plug a PlayStation controller or something in or Xbox and see what it feels like.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Brandon, I personally would be better at this game if we did that.
That's right. I've been training my entire life on a PlayStation controller.
So I think okay, so do you have to press a direction on the first one? Or how does it work?
Yes. So there and then jump. Yeah. So you have to lock onto the wall.
Yeah, so it's still too low, right? So like
maybe it just
should we do it again?
Did it not save? Hold on. It's the save button.
Here, just do this. Do like oh my god. What was it at? 20.
It's at 28.
It was at 28? Alright, so I was trying to do 35. I was like, I don't remember. Alright.
Save. Cool. Still, something else is up.
Yeah, because like, oh my
It
god.
feels like you want a little more arch on your wall jump. Like you want a little more up.
It just doesn't seem like changing that X velocity is doing
Well, yeah,
anything.
I think you want to change Y velocity.
No, it's like stopping. I don't even think it's the velocity.
Yeah.
See how he just stops? So it stops,
I'm
and
not
unless
gonna
I
grab.
press.
Oh, it's not locking on. That's what it is.
Yeah,
you need
unless
the
I-
lock mechanic.
Unless I press to the right, it just stops in front of the wall, and then pressing to the right. So there's some sort of mechanic going on there.
Let's test this out. Like, if we somehow get to the edge of the wall, like how far are we going out now? Because it could just be stopping at the edge, waiting for us to lock onto it. All right, if I get over here. Oh my god.
Yeah, I would just get rid of the tell it. I don't know why it's doing that, but say it's just stopping right before the wall, and in the midst of a wall jump, you should
Grab the wall.
grab the wall like that. That seems completely unnecessary.
Well, yeah, so we intentionally told it that the directional buttons would be the mechanic to attach it to the wall. And so it sounds like
Yeah, when you're starting, I do agree when you're starting the wall jump, but once you're in the wall jump, you're already attached, right? But yeah, I totally agree. You don't just start the wall jump without engaging it, so you have like a mechanic to engage it, but I think that's where wall jumps start to feel And honestly, the Mario 64 is probably a bad example because their wall jumps are really large and like slow. But I still don't remember in Mario 64 if you have to attach to the wall by pressing the direction. But it's like literally, I think each jump step is like a full second or two in Mario 64. Like, let me go find a YouTube video. This is also good. Go watch videos of other games, or go play them. But it's a lot easier to watch them. All right, I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna watch some Mario wall jumps. See what it looks like. All right, Tony, you wanna light me up when I tab over?
Indeed, you are lit up. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's see how it plays. I don't know. Oh my god. But see how slow their wall jump is? So like you can do.
Yeah, there's like a lot of hang in the middle.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just a lot slower paced thing than we're doing right now. Yeah, so like the control stick towards the wall is how Mario 64 works, but it's like
You have a lot more reaction time.
immensely slower.
Yeah.
And it's not like you can immediately press the other way and then you're just timing the jump. So we could do that, but I think for like faster running wall jumps, it's just like hitting space over and over. So I think this is probably a good time to just really determine what
we want our wall jump to feel like.
Yeah.
Do we want it to
Yeah,
feel
'cause-
super frenetic, or do we want it to feel floaty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What feels?
We're doing.
I
the
mean-
former, what you said.
What?
I think we're doing the former what Tony said, right? So
Yeah, we can test it, but I mean, you can keep doing it. It's just question is, I mean, you guys are the designers. What do you want it to feel like?
Well, Brandon keeps talking about parkour. And so if we are making it parkour, then it feels like it shouldn't be super floaty. It should be like snappy.
Yeah.
I'm like, where is Brandon's screen? There it is.
I know I mentioned it last week, but I feel like Infamous does a really good job. It's 3D, not 2D, but does a really good job with like making fast movement and not feel frenetic.
Yeah, but Infamous, isn't it more just like it's almost like on rails when you get going? It just feels like you're just running and it just feels really good. And it's more like
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
it's more like I do agree it's very good, but it's more like it's easy and it's more like what you expect to happen happens without like a real big challenge.
It's more like God of War. You press a button and then Kratos jumps off the wall and pulls someone's head off and punts the head into someone else, and all you did was press X. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's probably they just have really long buffers, really long windows to hit things, and then there's kind of preset movement when you do hit them. Now, I mean, in Infamous, you also like you can still control it. It's just the challenge is not like what we just watched on Mario. The challenge is literally the wall jump itself, right? Like that is the puzzle. And so I guess probably that's the way to think about it. Is the puzzle the act of wall jumping? Because in Mario 64, that is the puzzle.
Yes.
Or is the puzzle doing interesting things during the wall jump?
Well, I think it starts as the former and on later levels ends as the latter. But we're testing right now what it should feel like at the end, so we should be testing the latter.
Yeah, I just don't think your wall jump can be like hyper complex like Mario 64 and add a bunch of stuff to it. I think the reason it works in a game like Mario 64 is because when you hit a wall jump, you learn to do a wall jump, they get longer, right? That's how Mario 64 handles it, is the wall jumps get longer, or there's like an alternating like thing where you have to like there's a different level that you go into, but like there's not like things you're dodging or like different wall types, or and I think there is an element where like your mechanics need to be simple within themselves and make sense. Because I'm trying to imagine a world where like you do it like Mario 64 and then you just add a bunch of shit. Because Mario 64, it was all about like the timing of the wall jump was the puzzle, right? So it's like if you add a bunch of shit to it and suddenly it's I don't even know how that works, honestly.
You'd have to float around a hazard or something in Mario 64 or something like that. Because like that is a very floaty
Right.
mechanic.
Yeah, there might be something in between the walls.
So,
But even that's like really hard to control because it's not like you can control the height of your jump.
yeah.
It's just like some walls were closer together, some walls were farther together. So they would, like I said, it was almost all just the timing was the puzzle. And then they would adjust the timing. And I think that's the important thing to decide is the puzzle hazards on the route, or is the puzzle the thing itself?
The route.
I think it'd be on the route. I would like to try it like that at least.
Yeah.
With Rift Runner here.
Well, yeah, and I mean, this is why I didn't want to go to all these complex puzzles you were talking about right away, because like I think we got to get we got to get one that actually feels right before we try anything. Because if it doesn't feel right in the easy use case, it definitely isn't going to feel right later on. But then yeah, we can actually try it, right? We can try, and actually, this is where, so we haven't done this, but this is where you could like literally have a debug mode where we get both feeling really clean, and then we just have a debug mode where you can swap between the movement types in a level and see what feels better. And actually, that's an interesting thought. Maybe the wall jump works different depending on what time period you're in, or
what era.
Gameplay mechanic changes per era.
Yeah, so maybe in one era it's the Mario 64, and maybe in the other one it's hazards. I don't know if that'd be fun. I just thought. Get it consistent to where everything in this era works away and everything in this era.
It works that way and feels good.
Yeah, it's gotta feel good for sure. And actually that goes to like, so if you did do that, that means one era, and this is actually an interesting question. That means one era may be like more slow timing based, and another one may be more like faster run through the level based.
Yeah.
And then I think that goes into, we decided 2 eras, but when we were talking about like more than 2 eras, that's the type of thing that makes a lot of sense with era switching, is like you can think about the theme later, but like that's where it's like real interesting. You could even have like a slow, medium, fast, and the puzzles are different in slow, medium, fast, or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think we talked about going back and forth between eras, but we didn't really talk about like what changes. Is it just the world changes, or? But like I said, first things first, got to make it feel good in our prototype level.
Yeah. And here's what we have for era changes right now in the upper left-hand corner. You can see that we have swap era. Look at that.
Look at that. Now he's brown.
We have a very basic starting level. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Jumped up, swapped. Let's see what happens. What did you say here? Oh, well. All right, so it is going to fix this bug real quick.
Again, Prince of Persia would have just left that there and made you figure out that you had to press jump before you hit tab.
Yeah, yeah, because that was one of the things that we wanted to do. We didn't want to limit swapping eras, but we
Oh, that's
also
right.
needed to adjust that level, that platform to just not auto kill you because we don't want it to be a brutal game.
Well, actually, Prince of Persia probably just didn't have the QA and they didn't even know that would have been there until
Right.
their players found it. Like, let's be real. Those things were not intentional back then. There's like one or two guys making the entire game from scratch in programming languages that suck compared, or not suck, but are hard compared to modern languages.
They're
Did
basically
not
like
ha-
like what you can do on a calculator.
yeah, did not have modern tooling, did not have modern frameworks, and then they got it working, and then there'd be some random bug or something, or they'd also be QA, and they had 6 months to make the game, so they put their stamp of approval on it because they could beat it, and then people would find really hard shit.
Does Claude just like pick verbs and put it there when it like says like creating or moseying or?
Yeah. Yep. So it's like ours. Ours does that now too. There's just a set of words that it chooses from, and based on what it's doing, it'll present different words.
So dumb.
So if it's thinking, for example, it has a bunch of words that it'll use. If it's actually writing, there's a bunch of words it'll use.
I just like moseying a lot.
Oh, so the reason why our adjustments aren't working is because there is a 3-level override chain, which is not what we want. That is very confusing. I think we just want it on the first one.
Yeah, at least for now. This is a good example of premature optimization. Don't do things like this until you actually need it, because we might actually want this later on. But if you want it later on, do it when you want it. Don't do it up front.
Yeah, because you're talking about changing gameplay mechanics based off of the era swap.
Yeah.
And so this could be an opportunity to do that if swap sandbox had the override in it.
Yeah,
but yeah, we don't care about that right now.
But let's wait until we're actually doing that to do it,
Yeah.
because we may decide how many things. Like, shoot, we're still trying these basic mechanics. So how much is going to change by the time we get to actual era swap mechanics?
Yep.
And this is also, Tony, when you keep asking, like, what are we going to get done? Don't know. That is the classic manager question from every corporation ever. Oh, how much are you going to get done this week? Do this. And it's like, it's oftentimes not how it works. And especially when you're trying to make things fun, it's even worse. Games are even worse because it's like, when is it going to feel good? I have no fucking idea. Hopefully in 5 minutes, but it's no longer like a technical complexity problem. It's a
Artistic endeavor, as you
yeah.
said. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, if you go ask an artist, when are you going to make your masterpiece? I don't fucking know. I can tell you what I'm working on right now and what we might work on next, but that's it. Yeah. And so, but it is in the business world, everybody just wants, when are you going to be done? When are you going to be done? It's I mean, in a lot of business stuff, there is an answer for it, but games are less so. And games still have deadlines. That's why the game industry crunches so much, is because at a certain point you got to complete your game when you're got to make money to pay the bills.
I do not envy the GTA 6 dev team at this point. They are crunching right now.
Now, well, they're crunching because they took 10 years to make a game that
Yeah.
probably only needed. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it's a masterpiece like we've never seen. If it's just GTA mechanics with better graphics,
I think it's going to be GTA mechanics with better graphics. I can't imagine that they're
Shot
doing
me there.
I mean, maybe.
God.
Oh, ooh.
So now to Tony's point, it's way too flatlined. But now we can adjust it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what's that?
It's
This is my mic that I'm not
software.
using right now.
Oh, I thought it was some cool music.
I think probably do.
So what is the wall jump impulse? Is that like your acceleration off the wall?
Yep, that's exactly what we're editing right now.
Nice, nice.
Say that.
Brandon lacked impulse control, and now he has it.
That's right. Now we're ready for takeoff.
Was good.
Yep. Okay. There.
Oh, that's much better.
Oh wait, no.
Oh, well.
God damn, I'm gonna close it. I think we're almost there. What, maybe 2400. I forgot to lock on and jump.
Yeah, it's like a interesting thing because you're already jumping that way and holding that direction. So I think the threshold for locking on needs to be a lot higher.
Yeah.
Because like if you're running and jumping towards a wall, you should not have to hold that direction till like the last second of when exactly when you did it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the reasons the first jump feels so bad. I would now say wider. You've been talking a lot about distances, and you're saying wider to explain time. Wider is not a superlative to describe time. Longer, or a longer window, right? Like that's right, a longer timing window. I think humans would have no problem, and Claude might have no problem. But it's mainly because your whole context window is talking about width and distance of horizontal movement. So wider in that context means a very specific thing.
Let's see what it comes up with here.
So after the first jump, is it feeling all right now?
Well, it hasn't done anything. Oh yeah, after the first
Ooh.
jump, I mean, I just kind of hit spacebar and it gets me to the top.
I mean, I like that where to me that's like the good. You hit spacebar, and if we want the sliding mechanic, then you slide until you hit spacebar again, and that kind of lets you be able to do hazards, right? That makes
You can jump over around the hazard. You can slide around it.
Yep.
Brandon, you're really good at falling between that crack. Like if there was an achievement for falling between that crack, you would have had it a long time ago.
We should probably add that as if we ever do achievements. Yeah.
Brandon's crack.
I don't know if I want my name associated with.
Yeah, we should here go again. We should probably just for testing make this base bigger.
Yeah.
Annoying because if you fall, you always fall through the. I still think like the velocity you launch at is very high. We don't want a fast velocity. We want.
You mean impulse off the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah. But we don't want to. It's not necessarily we want a fast velocity. We just want to go farther.
Yeah.
Right now, you launch like a fucking rocket. It's actually
it feels like Ninja Gaiden right now. Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah. I mean, I played it on the Nintendo because I'm old, but yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting too. So when I jumped back on,
I didn't reset.
so yeah, when I jump back on and you have to reattach after the slide. So if I'm sliding and I jump, it's really wonky when the. Oh god, I missed it. Oh my god. Look at that. Like, I have to actually do it properly.
No slacking.
So yeah, so that feels fine, but then when you're like, so that feels fine, but then when you do this, it's like really wonky. It's not considering you in a wall jump when you slide and reattach.
Okay,
And
yeah.
on a slide, you're essentially in a wall jump already.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what it is? Your threshold for letting go. You should slide for a second after, not a full second, but you should slide after you let go because the timing is exact right now.
Okay.
So the second you let go, you have to like hit the jump perfectly.
Gotcha.
There should be like probably a 300 millisecond buffer or something after you let off the hold that where you stay holding.
Okay.
Because it's especially on a keyboard, it's really awkward to have to like release one button and press the other button immediately.
Those fast wall jumps are feeling good though now. Like at least to watch, it looks fun to do.
Yeah, it's a lot better. There's just a handful of edge casey that make it feel weird, but
So I think we definitely want two. We want the buffer or more states.
you definitely want. So just grab up more states. Let the grab fire from the rising state.
Into a wall, attach immediately.
Yeah, you need both of this. This is saying
Yeah.
there's still. That's probably why it still feels bad. It's saying that there are states in the jump states that you cannot attach to a wall from. So.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Why not? We can just run into some sort of
Running
wall.
into a wall. No, I think you got to jump to start a wall jump. That means like, what does that mean? If you're standing next to a wall, you can just start wall jumping.
I was thinking like you just run horizontally off the platform and there's a wall gap here and you just run into the wall and you slide down.
No, the question was you need to be airborne. Grabs
That would
need to
make
be
you
airborne,
airborne, yeah.
and that would be it. This is like if there's a corner, you would just run into the wall and then just start jumping.
Mhm.
Which
Okay.
to
Yeah,
me
we don't want
makes no sense. You at least need to do that initial jump.
Yep.
It's like
I don't think we want people. We don't want you to be able to just like reverse wall slide up.
Yeah.
With the jump.
Yeah, I mean it might be interesting, but
Ninja Gaiden
Yes.
does do that, where you jump, you double jump, and then you can reattach to the wall. That's like a way to climb up, and it's terrible.
yeah, do you want double jumps?
Maybe.
Yeah, we gotta have double jumps. No way, no way we're making a parkour game without double jumps.
Because the double jump may make this initial one feel a lot better too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This thing, like it has to be this.
I think it's all in the same value.
Yeah, we should break it up.
Yeah, I think you want the distance. You want the distance covered, which is different than the speed you launch from the wall.
Yeah.
Hager, come here. Come say hi.
Who's a good kitty?
No.
Oh,
What is happening? Stuck in the ship. Oh my god! Now my leg's cramping again.
You're doing some pretty cool wake surfing tricks yesterday, though.
Oh my god! Don't step on my keyboard.
you put me here,
Jeremy
Dad.
was over here doing a 360. Try to do two in a row.
Do a 360.
Yeah.
did some jumps. All right, I'm gonna go pee real quick and grab some liquids.
All right,
So
let's
do
take a
the-
5-minute break, everyone. I'm
Yeah.
gonna put the I'm gonna take us all off stream and put the message up, and we'll be back in 5 minutes.
All right,
Sounds good.
Good.
had it up and bent.
Hello.
What's up?
All right. Let's pull up Makko Bracho here. Sorry, let me do a quick intro back. You've got Jeremy, Brandon, and Tony here coming at you for the last 40 minutes of our stream. We've been working on the feel of the movement in Rift Runners mostly today, and we got what we think is a pretty good feel for the jump and the air dash, and we were working through how we want wall sliding and wall jumping to feel. So without further ado, Brandon,
Well, and in our break, Brandon just let me know. So we're in a makeshift setup today, and in our break, Brandon just let me know he's been hearing an echo because of how it was set up, and I was like, because we're not both through my computer for our headphones, so it was his computer he was hearing me in the room and in the computer, and I was like, dude, I got audio splitters or headphone splitters. Like, what the heck?
This is way more peaceful.
He's like, I think I'm used to it now. I'm like, no, this is
because you're an insane person.
I know. Yeah, when you were talking about sector scavengers, I was trying to tell a story. I'm like, oh my god, this is so hard right now.
Why are all these voices in my head? Hey, good news though, guys. One of my friends just reached out to me and asked if I wanted to go to a World Cup game today in 2 hours.
Nice.
So
Nice.
apparently he has some like really nice, like it's called the trophy seating area. So I think I get like free food and shit too. I'm pretty excited.
That should be fun.
Oh my god, you got the VIP experience too?
Yeah,
Let's go.
I think they're probably like several $1,000 tickets. I'm pretty excited.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
let's see if there's any left. Explore tickets.
I mean, I'm certainly excited for the USA game today.
Is that in Seattle?
No. Wait. Tony, is it in Seattle?
No, I don't think so.
I just know it's not in KC.
Yeah, they start around 2,700 per person. Wish you guys still lived out here. I'd bring one of you guys.
It is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Wait. FIFA
Belgium, and Senegal.
Ah, yeah. Let's see. USA's playing. Not say. Oh, San Francisco. Who's playing in Kansas City today? Australia and Egypt? Nope, that's Dallas. Oh. Oh, wait. Is the KC game not today? I thought the KC game was today.
No, it's July 3rd.
Oh. Yeah, it was funny because one of the games we were gonna just wait because I'm like 10 minutes from the stadium. So I was just gonna wait and get like right when the game started, but they took all resale tickets down like an hour out from the game. It was really weird. They must do that I've never seen that happen, but they must do that to prop the ticket prices up.
100%.
Which, like, I've been to a lot of sporting events around here. Never, ever seen anything quite like that. And there was a bunch of empty seats, and I was like, well, I guess whatever floats their boat. Jesus, the semifinal game or the quarterfinal game is like starting at $2,700 for terrible seats.
Not trophy room seats.
No. No, like these seats in Arrowhead are like terrible. I mean,
The question about Rift Runners is, do we want the player, like when we're doing this wall slide right here, and let's see, we engage in, let me just get an example going. So we go up here and we want to engage in a new wall slide. We can go over there. When I let go, he just falls.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking do we want it to where I let go, or just move away from the wall to disengage? When we don't have a wall slide active, we're just nope. It is a wall slide active. We're not wall jumping.
I think if you let go, you should fall, right? Otherwise, like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. Like, how would you let go? But that's what happens,
Yeah, it was a little weird though.
right? Why is it weird? Sorry. I
It
didn't
like
catch.
flickered a little bit. So if I don't get to the top, but right, so from there it like flickers a little bit, then it falls.
So,
it's like-
yeah, because there's a buffer. That's what we just
Yeah,
added.
that's right.
We
Yeah.
literally just added that. You
Okay.
forgot. I do like maybe the buffer's too long, but you definitely want a buffer for the other reasons we just added it, right?
I think it's feeling all right.
So like also I think the falling use case is like probably a lower use case, right? Like
Yeah.
if you wanted to jump down, you just jump down or slide down, right? You probably wouldn't jump to slide down and then fall down to go down. You would probably do that if you messed up, which is why we want the buffer. Because like you should be able, so like do your slide. You should be able to slide, let off, and still jump. Oh, no, not that. Not move your hands off the keyboards. I'm saying you should be able to like not play it perfect and still jump. That's the whole point.
And then like jump there. Oh. Oh my gosh. Get up there.
You're getting worse at this game. Can't even jump on the platform anymore.
Alright, so here, and then jump takes you over here again. So it is, so I am in like a wall, so there is something weird here because I'm not pressing against the wall right now, but I mean, that's kind of what we wanted to, and you just hit the spacebar to go up.
Yeah, I guess. And then how do you get out of this? You just
Hit left, tap it.
okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. So basically, when you engage a slide, it should be considered a wall jump.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I definitely think you want that to work consistently. So,
Yeah, so then here, it'll just fall if I don't have anything hit.
yeah, go put a thing under. No, exit this.
Mhm.
Go to your map editor. Exit. Put boxes so you don't keep falling through that goddamn crack. We were like literally testing this, and you gotta restart it over and over and over again just because there's a freaking crack.
It's like it's like an exercise in driving a QA insane.
Yeah,
I would make it
let me
one
put
more
this-
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, or platform wider. Yeah, do that. There you go.
So velocity. So I'm gonna work on. I already have a prompt going for the velocity because we said that we're moving from left to right too quickly, so we can split that up. So
Wait, do you have a prompt going?
no,
You just
no,
said-
I have to type it. So
Oh, okay. You're like you already have a prompt for this. I thought you meant you had it like running.
Mhm.
What did you have running when we left?
It was the more forgiving first grab.
Hmm.
Yeah, so now I want to run the wall jump, velocity, get to the wall jump impulse. So we just want to slow down the velocity but still have the correct amount of horizontal distance.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so that's going.
Oh, that feels so much better.
Well, we can't die now, yeah. Oh, we can't die from weird fall like
Yeah,
this.
you can still die, but you have to really try now.
Yeah.
It's amazing how a little thing just dramatically changes how we're iterating and testing.
So
Yeah,
much
so
faster.
now we're not resetting the level every 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Sock hopping.
I just think Brandon liked resetting the level personally.
I need something to do.
Yeah. He's like, my hand needs a break from all this wall jumping.
Yeah, it does feel like that. I kind of sometimes I like it when it zips pretty quickly, like the ninja gated thing. But I mean, if we're adding a double jump, we can add fast velocity maybe, or whatever's more fun. But at least with this change, we can tune it how we want it.
You guys have to fight that out because Tony was like, "Ew, you Ninja Gaiden."
I
These
just
apps looking good.
yeah, I like the speed, but I don't like the idea of double jumping up a wall.
Oh yeah, we don't want to.
That's the way that was the mechanic in Ninja Gaiden. You jump and then you double jump and then you reattach to the wall, and it was just like a stupid way to climb walls, in my opinion.
Just reading through what it's doing right now. What's your favorite part about Ninja Gaiden, Tony?
I hated that game. It was one of those games that I got as a present, and then I, had it because it was like one of the 5 games that I owned.
Yeah.
It was just so frustrating.
I kind of have the same memory of that as a child.
Yeah. It was the worst.
Reach is now purely wall jump distance. Oh, that's okay. So wall jump speed, if I set it lower, it'll just take a long time to get there. Perfect.
All right, so we'll make sure it works.
Let's do it. Set it. Wow, where are all those errors? Okay, but
So then I would go kill the velocity a little bit.
maybe it's probably dramatic. I know.
Yeah, it's if it works, you halved it.
Yeah, look at that.
So actually, I actually don't hate that speed, but the vertical jump is. And actually, instead of doing that, lower your bricks.
Yeah.
What? Oh, I thought that was a setting. You mean the actual physical bricks?
Yeah. No. Just add tiles.
Just go down. You don't want all those. Weird. It's just.
Dude, watching you use your mouse, I swear you're on a touchpad. Then I look over, you're on a real mouse.
Clearly on a real mouse. I'm trying to find this one. I don't know why I couldn't find it, but okay, is that it? Oh, that's probably too many.
I don't know, like I would just leave it. We're just testing. It's not a big deal. Not a puzzle. Just
Should I save it? I don't even think.
we're just testing the feel.
Yeah.
So definitely not
Oh my God.
jumping high enough now. But I actually do think I like the slightly slower. But it needs to, like Tony said, it needs to be kind of like an arc.
Mhm.
So you might go back and tell it to. Oh, so that's the rise velocity, not the.
Oh, whoops. Yep. So this is the one that we actually wanted.
No.
Well,
So
jumps.
you need to. Okay, you're changing the wrong values. You need to undo that one. And then the distance is fine. This wall speed is what we want to lower. So now lower this to like 1200. So we know the height works. So I actually think,
Look at that.
yeah, go back to your values. I think you actually do want to lower the height because I think you jumped too far right now.
Mhm.
So the height, change the height to like 1800 or something. And then I would change your speed even lower to like 800.
Oh, that's so close.
So the distance, clearly this didn't work correctly because the distance is
Much
Yeah.
lower. $384 was a very specific number.
It was very specific. Doesn't make it now. Nope. Making it.
and just change it to like 500.
What the heck? I hit a wall somewhere in there? That was weird. Oh gosh.
Oh,
That
there's
is not
that
doing
wall.
anything for some reason. Why doesn't this wall jump distance is not doing anything? So let's keep like this.
Hold on. Read the comments. So wall jump speed is pixels per second. More readable arc over the same distance. And then how far it's supposed to be pixels. So just put the wall jump distance like 1,000. Put it really high. Yeah, so that's not working at all. Yeah.
I mean, it says speed it said speed is what's. I think the variables for speed and distance might be inverted based on the comments in the code, but
Inverted, do you think?
yeah,
No,
look,
comment.
'cause it
Speed says pixels over time, which is
No.
what it should be.
that was distance.
No, that's speed.
Oh, really?
Comments are above the variables.
Oh. Well, there you go.
Only a crazy person would put a comment below the variable.
Oh my gosh.
But go back and we can show the stream. So wall jump distance, how far a jump carries the player horizontally in pixels, fixed reach, and then wall jump speed is how fast the player slides across in pixels a second. So, but yeah, comments are always above what you're commenting.
Yes. If anyone ever changed that, use everyone who ever read the code.
Yeah. What was Claude say about it? Literally nothing. Cool.
Just germinating. We have a lot of different adjustments here now.
What's weird to me is that it's all in code and not like Godot's got to have.
Right, it should be off to the side over here. So if I go
To load values in your UI in Godot, you need to reference your UI control nodes in a script and assign variables to operate. Yeah, I'm really surprised. There's not like in like Unreal, you literally just say value and it shows up in the UI. Are you sure there's not? Go to signals on your right hand side.
Well, it should be in the
groups. Do you have the?
Should be in the inspector. And it was there at one point when we were adjusting values based off of the room, the override values. But I think there's something that we can do to actually get them to show up on the player object or player node. All right, came back with something here.
There you go. Okay, so it was a time-based Apex. So, all right, let's go try it. Now it's going to be crazy, but so now you don't reach the apex until the distance is covered, which is going to make this really weird.
Oh,
No, that looks great.
that was very easy.
It's a little slow. It's a little slow, but it's
felt all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they jumping fine, almost to the middle of the grid. All right, cool. So we're saying that it is a little slow. Oh, I moved like everything over somehow. Oh. Yeah, it's a little bit faster. I like it. Slides a little bit afterwards. Guess that's what we want.
Yeah, I mean, you're running into the wall.
Yeah.
The only way you can resolve that is to have explicit wall jump objects.
Yeah, which we could definitely do.
Which we probably do want to do at some point, but. All right, let me play it. Let me do it. Oh, all right. Yeah, the having to reattach is weird on the slide. So that's the last thing. What was that?
He managed to fall off the map even with the guardrails in place.
And bro just like started glitching on the corner. Like you have to, yeah, like when you're sliding and trying to get back into wall jump, it's really weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right here.
Yeah, because it just like falls.
Just sliding down.
So it doesn't reattach until the other. Also, it's really weird when you. So like when you jump off the wall and you're now back into a normal fall, it's like doesn't feel good either. So like So when you reattach, it feels bad, and then if you do that, you don't really have control of your character. So it's almost like you need a way to identify you're like one block away from the wall jump or something, or you're out of the wall jump bounds.
Yeah.
I think what you need to do is you need to be able to like tell it this is a wall jump area, and only have it apply in the wall jump area.
Okay. So we can, yeah, I mean, we can come up with a specific tile for wall jump.
Yeah, I don't think it's a tile. I think you want an area.
Area, okay.
Because the tile wouldn't solve this problem. Right, like, do you get what I'm saying though? Like,
Yeah.
so when you're in the wall jump area, it should behave like a wall jump, but if you jump out of the wall jump area, it should behave like jumps.
Okay.
That's why you need a section and not a tile.
Okay, so we need it, yeah, a wall jump area. Oh, can spell pretty low. That treats all walls in the area as
Slidable and grabbable.
yeah. What'd you say, Tony?
Slidable and grabbable.
Yeah.
I like grabbable. It sounds like something. It sounds like something a Murloc, like the one that killed me in World of Warcraft, would say as it was killing me. Grabbable, grabbable.
Yeah, so here's slidable and grabbable. Everyone outside of that. Cool. All right, so we got that going right there. So the plan that I'm trying to come up with is some sort of a node for Godot where you can just like almost like a collision area, I'm thinking, but not you don't collide with it, but it is like that area that you can resize. And so any wall that's within that area will have the ability to have your slidable and grabbable states, wall jump states.
And then, do you just draw that area in the wizard?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Just draw it so then we can have like these outlines that are only visible in the editor, hopefully. Yeah, so it should be a contact point inside the zone. Or the wall. Yeah, no, I think it's the wall's tile or collider inside of the zone. Could walls be non-grabbable by default? Yeah. And then what shape should the zone node be? Yeah, drag resize handles as a rectangle, an area 2D object. I like that. Yeah. Everything's on a grid anyway, so it can be a rectangle. That's fine. The player is mid-slide and they move out of the zone. What happens? They should, yeah, detach. Because, yeah, we can adjust that if we want, but I think detaching is okay.
I mean, so it's a weird, honestly, it's a weird thing that we probably shouldn't have code for because, like, that doesn't make any sense. How would you be out of the zone if you're mid slide?
How would you with the zone?
How would you be out of the zone if you were mid slide?
Yeah, like why would we set it up like that anyways?
Yeah,
and so why would we have code to?
Yeah, I think it's going to do a bunch of weird edge case stuff when the proper fix there is we would never design our level that way.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big thing in game dev is like if you can literally solve it by just not doing a thing, just don't do the thing unless you really want the thing, right? So like it just asked, okay, well what about this one really edge case thing that may or may not exist? Well, we won't
Ignore it.
we'll make sure we will not be in that edge case. So and usually if you keep stuff simpler, it's better, right? So you say it's really simple. If you're out of the area, works exactly like a normal jump/fall, period, right? Like if you're in the area, it works like wall jumps. And that keeps it like super simple. And it'll actually keep your edge cases down and your code simpler. And then if you ever just misconfigure your level, you just fix it.
So it's asking a very similar question here, so I'm adding the clarification.
Right. And it's constantly trying to solve the edge case, right? It's not actually, so it's spending all its effort now solving the edge case, not the actual thing we care about. So, and if a human did this, you probably would not even think about that edge case because you'd go, of course you're gonna be in the zone.
Yeah.
It's going to solve the hell out of that edge case.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah, you're probably right. More. I mean, this is actually a really dangerous thing, right? Because if it ends up writing more code around the edge case than the actual main case, then you've now wasted a bunch of time, and now there's more room, surface area for bugs. There's more things you got to test. It's just a waste of all time, right? So, like, that's why sometimes just short circuiting that and being like, we don't care about this is way better. It asks if it wants you to build it.
I know. I'm reading to make sure it's understanding what we're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's that third bullet point that I have here. That's kind of explaining that. Where it leaves the Rex, it detaches the fall. And reuses the existing wall gone release path. Why does it have a wall?
Go ahead and build it. Not yes.
It was already there. I just had the right
Go
button.
ahead and build it.
It predicted what I wanted to say.
It did.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny you started to type the sentence and not just yes.
I hit 2 buttons. Yours is 4 buttons. Yeah, so I think we'll get this feeling pretty good. I'm a lot happier with the feel of the game right now, which I think is really important. Like, this is probably one of the more important parts of finding your fun core game loop right here. Is just making it feel good. And so we are spending a little bit more time on it because we do want it to feel good. And it's really nice having another person here messing around with the keyboard.
Yeah.
Well, we've got about 10 minutes left here, guys, and let's do a little recapping and little chatting about what we're going to be doing next week. So just as a quick reminder, if you haven't joined our Discord yet, it is discord.gg/Makko, Makko. You can join and participate in giveaways and contests every week. We give away free video games or gift cards to Steam to people that participate in art or prototyping competitions. We also have office hours on Fridays at noon. And so if you want to come join us and talk to these guys about how you're making your game and what you might be able to do better, we'll be free to do that then. And then lastly, you can also visit AI 2D Game Art on Reddit and participate in our contests and giveaways there. So from there, Brandon or Jeremy, do you want to summarize what we did on the call today?
Yeah. We didn't really set any clear guidelines here except for making game feel better. And so we're going to start with jump dashing and wall jumping. And so as we were experimenting with all of that, we found a few things that just didn't feel well. And then we updated how the player attaches to the wall, how the wall climb mechanics work. We were able to adjust the velocity and the distance separately for both dashing and wall jumping. And I think we've gotten to a place right now where we're a lot happier with the feel of it for those two major mechanics of the game. And so I think what we want to do next session is move on to the next mechanic or make a puzzle that really makes these existing mechanics shine. Probably the latter there. Just so we can have something that's fun, that's simple with those two mechanics.
Awesome.
I think that's a good space.
We're working towards a core loop.
Yep.
And then Jeremy showed off a bunch of stuff in the product around our new asset management and the Code Studio, which we're super excited about. It's going to allow people to manipulate their assets more easily and really feel like they have ownership over what's in their game.
And now Claude is fighting with Git.
Is that? I was wondering what Bash was, but now I understand.
Yeah, Bash is just command line.
Yeah.
It's running command line commands basically.
As one does.
I guess that's true. We haven't actually committed any of this work into GitHub. So.
Yeah, I wasn't going to comment on it, but I would actually not follow the workflow we're following right now at all. Like we are doing tons of changes, not committing them. We're saying in one session. We're doing a lot of things not the way you should ever do them, actually, for best results.
Yeah, I think the best practice here would be to get one specific thing ready to go, and then commit that in there, clear your context for Claude, and then move on to the next task.
Yeah.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah, each thing we got to a point that we were happy with it, we should have committed and started a new context window and had it go research, redo the things, and because like you don't show your context size here, but I wouldn't be surprised if your context size is really weird. So like when this is done, type /context for me.
Mm-hmm.
Huge freaking.
Tony, how huge do you think it's going to be?
Which not tracking your context size is not recommended. You get a lot of all this MCP stuff you got turned on.
Brandon's also a spy.
It's just available. 70K, it's not too bad actually. But yeah, in my Claude code, I always show the context size because you never really want to go much higher than 200K.
I'm gonna say that I did have it, and it went away after I restarted my computer somehow. So, because I know what you're talking about, and I did have it down here somewhere.
Yeah. Well, so that footer there that says Brandon Riff Runners main, that is customizable in Claude code. So it's like whatever you want it to be.
Yeah. You can change the colors.
All right. What did you just do? Like what did Claude just do?
What do you mean?
Well, just finish the task.
Oh.
What do you mean? What do I mean? What are you doing? You over there doing?
What task just completed?
I know I randomized you there at the end, but like, it was doing stuff.
Yeah, so we added the 2D area 2D for our wall collision, so we can wall slide or wall jump only in this area. So let's see how we can add one.
Use it instance wall grab zone into a level position resize it.
Okay, so wall grab zone. So I'm a wall grab zone. Have it here. Can I just drag and drop it in here?
Yeah, you should be able to. Where's your? There you go. And drag it and then resize it. I assume.
I know I was able to drag and drop. Oh, no, go back to, oh my god.
I mean, that actually looks like what you want because there's like a node 2D over there.
Yeah.
And
You just want
On
move
your-
to the.
on
Wait,
your
no.
right hand side, there is node 2D, which is probably the sizing.
Where the heck do you, oh yeah, this thing right here, no 2D, transform, positioning. All right, so let's.
Is there really not? Hold on.
Yeah, there needs to be.
No. Let me say something. You still need to. Oh my god. Move mode. Scale mode. Yeah, it's scaling the entire level. That's freaking weird.
So I think it's because we're in. We don't have the node on the left hand side and the yep. So at the bottom there, yep.
There you go.
So now we should be able to scale.
There
it.
you go.
Yeah,
That's exactly
that's
what you want. Oh my god. Yeah, all right. So the Godot controls are a little wonky, but so you want to scale it, and then you're going to want to move it to where you want, and then. No, that's not what you want.
I see. Whoa.
So you need to. This is where you need to learn hotkeys. So move
So
mode is W.
Yep.
So you're gonna, and then scale mode is back to
Is R.
R. So yeah. So this is where in these tools hotkeys are going to help you a lot because like as you're scaling and changing, you're going to want to like go back and forth really quick.
Yeah. Wish it.
Yeah. So all right. So that's probably good. Let's test it and see what it feels like now.
Yeah.
The wall grab zone. Sounds like someplace I'd bring my 10-year-old.
It does sound like that. So okay. So first of all, you know how you were like running in. So you got normal jumping.
Yeah.
So that's
great.
awesome. That solves that problem.
Oh, and then I couldn't attach the wall.
Yeah, and so now this is not working. Let's go back to the scene, make sure it's configured and saved.
Yep, it's saved.
And then, so here's what I would do. I would take a screen. Well, I don't know what the Mac. Anyways, if I was on Windows, I would take a screenshot of this and say, "Hey, we set this up." Paste it in and say,
Yeah.
but I don't know warp and all these things you're using. I don't know. So in ArcForge, I created a thing that creates a temporary file and then paste it over to WSL because I use Windows, but very fancy. Me, I would have just said it doesn't work. I added it and it doesn't work. That's what I would have said.
Yeah.
It would have been like, here's a screenshot. I added it. Doesn't work. Tell me why. Because it should be able to. It should be able to just like look at the scene and go, oh yeah, here's the thing. Did you configure it right?
Yeah.
And yeah, actually, I mean, maybe with the MCP, that might be better keywords than saying it might be better to just say like, I added it. Here's a screenshot. Can you double check the scene and make sure it's configured correctly?
Yeah, so I should have done like wall grab zone. Use the actual.
No, it should be able to read the scene, right? So like it told you to add it, so you just need to tell it to validate the scene.
Mhm.
Okay, is it actually going to read the scene? I don't know. What did it do? I found where zone is placed.
Weapon.
Yeah, see now it's trying to recode, so it's bypassing. So this is a big thing when you use MCP servers, and this is when we get to when we're using tooling inside Makko as we build our tooling out. Like the AIs will oftentimes not do what you want it to do, right? So now it's like, oh, I'm looking at the vectors and doing this, but it didn't actually validate that the scene is doing what it needs to do. So now hopefully this fixes it, but
Saying that we scaled it instead of using its contains point.
All right, lads, I have to go shower to get to the World Cup game that I just got invited to. But this has been a fun stream.
I think this is okay. Like, I mean, yeah, we should wrap this last part up, but
yeah, I mean we can just let this go and figure it out and pick back up next time. I don't think we need to keep going. But yeah, we'll pick this back up next time and then start working on some new puzzles next time.
Yep.
So
We had 5 people on TikTok watch us for longer than 5 minutes.
that's
Thank
awesome.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you,
you so
5
much.
people on TikTok.
Is Sanji still here?
No,
Sanji, Sanji left.
Yeah, he had to go to bed. Yeah, a lot of our views came right at the end too. We had a ton of YouTube views. We just gotta have you guys talking like that more often. People like it. Oh, I'm ending the stream.
All right, cool.
Sounds